Chapter 1781. There were tens of millions of demons in front of them, all of them multicolored and moving up and down like a colorful ocean. Moreover, there were even dozens of crevices in the sea, and layers upon layers of them were piled up, killing quite a few monsters. None of the demons attacked. They stood still, as if waiting for orders. The heads of the condensed crystal demons had strength comparable to the profound God, which was considered rather strong, but they did not have intelligence or perception, which meant, if there were some that had consciousness, they would be extremely strong. Charge! Second senior marshal brother shouted loudly and rushed in first. A long sword in his hand flew out, and in an instant, a pink monster with a condensed head appeared in front of the bed. The place where the giant monster was penetrated spewed out pink liquid like a fountain, sprinkling it all over the place. The scariest thing was, when this liquid was sprinkled on the other monsters could absorb it. After absorbing the liquid, it seemed to be evolving. Use a raging fire to burn it. When the second senior marshal brother saw this, he immediately shouted out loudly. The godly sword in the air let out a wave of flames. The tip of the sword was pointed at the ground as it rapidly rotated, creating a fiery tornado. It created an extremely intense divine flame. Upon encountering the flames, the pink flesh on its body was burnt to ashes. At the same time, the second senior marshal brother continued to release waves of godly power from a distance, turning the godly power into blades and swords. The godly power brought about a strong wind as it blew over, enveloping the evolving demons in its surroundings. The god power that turned into countless blades and swords penetrated the bodies of the monsters, and even released divine flames that burned inside their bodies. Not long after, a large area of flames started to burn within the group of demons and monsters. Everyone saw that the flames were effective and had already formed their own battle plans. However, just as they charged over, a few gigantic mountainous blue monsters in the distance opened their mouths and sprayed out a blue liquid onto the flames, instantly extinguishing the demon-slaying god's flame released by super profound god-like second senior brother. Furthermore, it was completely extinguished. The flames from before instantly disappeared, and after the nearby monsters had absorbed the blue liquid, their bodies quickly turned blue. This way, the monsters would no longer be afraid of fire. What a terrifying adaptability. It seems it won't be easy to exterminate them all. Everyone be careful, the 9th junior sister said solemnly. Her body had already floated towards a giant blue monster as she waved her hands, causing snow to fall from the sky. The cold wind whistled as it swept through the group of demons. Break! With a soft shout, the frozen demon suddenly shattered into fragments of ice. As expected of one of the few powerful female war gods, her strength isn't just for show, Xiao Chou exclaimed. He killed so many monsters in one go, and a few of them are of the kind with gemstones growing from their heads. Just as everyone was admiring the strength of the 9th junior marshal sister, the broken pieces of ice suddenly melted. The broken limbs of the monsters inside turned into multicolored liquid, melting the shattered pieces of ice, causing the sticky liquid on the ground to still radiate light. Everyone stopped their steps because the colorful liquid was squirming. After gathering together, it actually moved as if it had a life of its own. The flow of the demonic liquid suddenly became more intense. It piled up and was as big as a palace. Soon, a colossal creature appeared in front of everyone. It was a colossal creature with a body of various colors, and its hundreds of sun-like eyes radiated scorching rays of light. In the blink of an eye, it shot out rays of scorching light. Just what is going on with these demons? They actually came back to life, and they can even be fused together. The stronger they get, the more powerful they become. This is the first time we've encountered such a powerful demon. The smiling 5th brother took a few steps back. Eldest senior brother, quickly tell us the trick to deal with these demons, otherwise, if this continues, these demons will fight all the way to the city gate. The monsters hadn't attacked yet, so they just stood there. Even if it was the giant monster, its eyes were only emitting hot light and it didn't take the initiative to attack. Using demon-slaying palm or demon-slaying palm, as well as all kinds of devil-killing magic kung fus, you have to destroy all of the demonic aura in one go. Otherwise, as long as the demonic aura is still present, these demons can be reborn. Ren Tianyang said. Eldest senior brother, where are you? Inside the spatial crack, I am fighting a demon. You do not need to come in, as long as you are in charge of blocking this demon from approaching Divine City. Didn't even know how to use devil-killing magic kung fu, he hadn't gotten it yet. After all, he had only been in the sect for a day, so he never thought that something like this would happen. Use your full strength. Second senior brother had a solemn look on his face. He took a deep breath and suddenly struck out with his palm. A strong golden light appeared and a gigantic golden palm pressed down rapidly like the sky. Bang! Chen Shang only just saw the huge palm before the huge palm landed on the ground and slapped the huge monster that had just merged with it. Dazzling golden light suddenly gushed out, and the aftermath of a wave surged through the horde of tens of millions of demons. The little demons that were near the demon-slaying palm all turned into dust the instant the giant palm descended. This is the power of the super profound god, and this guy doesn't seem to have used up all his strength. Chen Shang opened his stinging eyes. The second senior brother had already disappeared, and all the profound goddess were no longer where they were before. He actually rushed into the group of demons, using the devil-killing magic kung fu that he was most proficient in, to kill the monsters with condensed crystals on their foreheads, as if he was harvesting straws. When several profound goddess attacked together, the scene was extremely shocking, especially the various devil-killing magic kung fu, it dazzled everyone. The destructive power of the devil-killing magic kung fu was extremely great for these demons. After everyone saw it, they all rushed into the demons and started to fight. Master, you haven't learned the devil-killing magic kung fu yet. You must be careful later, it would be best if you follow us closely. Xiao Chou said. In the past, whenever he saw Chen Shang, he always wanted to have a good fight with him. He always wanted to surpass him. When he saw Chen Shang this time, he did not have that kind of thought, but he obviously believed that with Chen Zhang's current cultivation, he was still not able to compete with him. He wanted to wait until Chen Zhang's cultivation was close to his. Chen Shang nodded his head. He had been observing the monsters that were crystallized on their foreheads the entire time. The crystals were clearly formed after many years of accumulation, and to make the demons become stronger was evidently no ordinary thing. No one actually wants those condensed crystals. When Chen Shang saw the monsters that were killed, and how many crystals fell from the sky, he was secretly happy. He anxiously used his spatial energy to retrieve the treasures in his hands. The devil-killing magic kung fu was extremely powerful, especially when used by the profound goddess, it was extremely powerful. One palm would be able to destroy the demons into ashes, but the crystals were completely undamaged. Brat, why aren't you taking care of these monsters? There should be a lot of demonic energy contained in them, and they can't be exchanged for divine money. The second senior brother discovered that someone was using a very brilliant method to pick up the crystals that had fallen from the ground. I just joined the devil-killing divine palace today, so I haven't had the time to learn the devil-killing magic kung fu yet. Therefore, my power is limited. Chen Shang quickly explained. The second senior brother said, then we should stay in the devil-killing divine palace. It's too dangerous for you to come here. Hurry and go back. As he said that, he pointed his finger towards the sky, and a ray of gold light shot out from his fingertip, forming a gigantic net that enveloped a monster that was about to attack Chen Shang. Hurry back, don't die here. After saying that, the second senior brother went to another place to deal with those powerful monsters. Chen Shang and Tai Chang, these two fellows, fought very hard. The devil-killing magic kung fu that they had mastered was also not bad, and they quickly killed the little demons in the surroundings, then continued to attack the cracks in front of them. Devil-killing Divine Palace's Devil Slayer team were very fierce. They slaughtered a large number of demons in one go, but there were still a lot of demons coming out of the cracks like a flood. Furthermore, the demons that came out now started attacking people, spitting out the liquid that emitted light from their mouths. This liquid was very dangerous. As long as they touched it, they would receive different kinds of injuries, such as burns, frostbite, poison, or muscles melting, and so on. How long are we going to stand in the way? This will go on forever. Chen Shang picked up hundreds of those crystals. He had a space domain protecting him, and those monsters with retarded intelligence were unable to attack him. Instead, they directly passed through his body. Brat, why are you still picking up those things here? This was already the second time she had met Chen Shang. In more than 2 hours, Chen Shang was met by a few war gods, who all told him to leave. I'm sorry, we've come to 9th Martial Uncle's territory again. It's said that how long will we have to resist? If we don't block those cracks, we won't be able to continue like this. Chen Shang quickly changed the topic. I'm not sure about that. I can only wait for Master to come. The 9th junior sister appeared behind Chen Shang in a flash, grabbed him by his collar and said, "You were lucky, and are still fine even now. You should leave this battlefield quickly. You don't understand the devil-killing magic kung fu, staying here will be very dangerous." Just as the ninth junior sister was about to throw Chen Shang out, Chen Shang stepped forward and used a bit of his spatial energy to struggle free from the ninth junior sister and slid far away. Chen Shang laughed. "Don't worry about me, I'm fine even now, because these demons won't be able to harm me." Suddenly, a monster in the distance spurted out a mouthful of liquid, and flew towards Chen Shang like an arrow. Chapter 1782. The ninth junior sister was just about to take action, but she suddenly sensed that there were strange spatial changes around Chen Shang. Chen Shang had released a space domain, and just as the liquid the demon spouted was about to touch Chen Shang, it actually penetrated Chen Zhang's body. Chen Shang shrunk the space domain down to a very small size and wrapped it around his body. "Spatial energy, your control over space is so strong, how did you do it?" The ninth junior martial sister was very curious, but she didn't have the time to ask because in one of the spatial rifts, a 100-foot-tall blood-red giant had appeared. It was actually a humanoid monster, and it also had a pair of intelligent eyes. This humanoid monster had a large crystal on its forehead. The ninth martial sister immediately flew over, and the second senior martial brother followed her. Chen Shang held a crystal in his hand and a small-scaled Taiji array appeared in his palm. Under the array, there were even silver-white flames. "Refine." With a move of Chen Zhang's thought, the white flames accompanied the rotating Taiji array as they danced and danced. The silver fog spread out in all directions, looking very beautiful. Under the dual smelting of Chuangzhou fire and Tai Chi, the crystal in his palm that was wrapped in a layer of shell turned into black mist and dissipated. The pure god power in it was actually a substantial liquid. Ning. Soon, the ball of liquid shrunk into a peanut-sized pellet. As expected of a profound god-level monster, the divine power inside the crystal is so strong. Chen Shang was very excited. The quality of the divine power Yuan Dan condensed was very good. He placed the recently refined pill into his mouth, and then walked towards the crack in the ground. At the same time, he released his heaven tour method, sending out strands of his soul to search for the condensed crystal that had fallen. The biggest use of heavenly alchemy is to turn waste into treasure. Hee, no matter how bad it is, in my hands, I can still refine it into a pill. Chen Shang, who had released the space domain, seemed to have turned transparent as he directly penetrated through the group of demons, causing them to be unable to attack him. What a dense flame energy. It should be pretty good to refine the destruction god fire pill. Chen Shang looked at the house-sized demon beast beside him. It looked like a 5-headed toad, with fiery red holes emerging from its body, spurting out large amounts of red liquid, but they were all useless to Chen Shang. Chen Shang opened up his arms, and his legs sank into the ground. The Chuangzhou fire flowed from his feet into the ground, flowing below the flame demons, forming a circle, transforming into a Taiji array. It's not a crystal monster, it should be easy to refine. Chen Shang increased the intensity of the fire, and many ancient characters and spirit grain appeared. Infinite refining. Chen Zhang's innate ability is to release this kind of Chuangzhou fire. This kind of flame can be created, and it can also decompose everything. Once the infinite refining was activated, silver flames spewed out from the Taiji array. In just a few seconds, the flame demon disappeared and turned into a ball of fiery red liquid, solidifying on top of the Taiji array. Chen Shang shrunk the Taiji array and added another space domain to the Taiji array. This way he could ignore all the surrounding monsters' attacks. Ning! Chen Shang shouted in his heart, and that originally very large fiery red liquid quickly condensed into a small pellet. After undergoing such compression, the fire energy within his body had become even more powerful and explosive. Once it exploded, the power would be extremely terrifying. Chen Shang looked at the divine flame pill in his hand and nodded in satisfaction. There are many monsters here that possess very pure ice-cold divine power. It would be best for them to be used to refine Ice Seal Dan S for destruction. Chen Shang had a new goal. In the middle of the monster horde, he picked up the magic crystals while searching for good alchemy materials to use to make the destructive pills that could be used for attacks. Over 600 crystals, that's enough. Chen Shang also picked up a lot of things, and now, the devil-killing divine palace's war gods were all dealing with the humanoid monster. So powerful. Chen Shang saw that when the demon-slaying palm hit the humanoid monster, only half of its body remained, but it had already grown out in an instant. At this moment, more and more blood-red humanoid demons appeared, and almost all of them walked out from the cracks. Even if a few war gods joined hands, it would still be difficult to deal with these humanoid monsters, let alone others. Back to the city, More than 10 rays of golden light shot out from those spatial cracks. It was Ren Tianyong's team. Hearing the 2 words, "return to the city," the other war gods all left the battle and retreated behind Ren Tianyong. Are we leaving just like that? These monsters must have reached the bottom of the wall. The 5th brother said, "When the time comes, our points will also be deducted. If we can't deal with them, we'll have to rely on Senior and the others." Ren Tianyong sighed. Xiaoqiu and Tai Chang had also returned, and together with Chen Shang, the rest of the people followed behind the 10 great war gods. When they heard that the old senior was going to come out, they couldn't help but be shocked. "Is it the old senior brother and the others?" that 9th junior sister asked. "That's right, maybe even old senior brother will come out. I don't know yet, I'll go back and tell master about the situation first." Ren Tianyong's words caused everyone to be shocked. The old senior brother was one of the devil-killing heavenly gods' first batch of disciples. The second batch of 10 disciples were also 10 divine masters, whom Ren Tianyong and the others addressed as old senior. They rarely appeared, but they had seen Ren Tianyong before. If someone of that level were to make a move, it would mean that the matter was extremely serious. "Oh right, boss, a little kid came to our devil-killing divine palace today. Are you in charge of receiving him?" Every day, devil-killing divine palace only joined a few disciples. If there were new disciples, they would immediately receive the news and be responsible for imparting the devil-killing magic Kung Fu to the new disciples. "That's right, I'm in charge of receiving them." He came as well. Chen Zhang's identity was different, so he did not inform anyone else, and there was an urgent matter at that time. He didn't even learn devil-killing magic Kung Fu, I let him go back. Second senior brother said. At this time, the other war gods also mentioned Chen Shang, saying that Chen Shang did not return and was leisurely picking up stones on the battlefield. "That little brat is very powerful, his control over space is very strong, the attacks of those crystal demons are useless against him, hitting him is like hitting the air, directly piercing through, but he is completely fine." The 9th junior sister said, "This little rascal should be following us from behind." Ren Tianyong laughed a few times, and said in a low voice, "This little demon is not an ordinary little demon, Master is personally responsible for leading the way." "What, isn't Master in closed-door training? He actually came out to do this for the sake of this brat?" That 9th junior martial sister said in surprise. "When we get back, we'll let him see who he plans on learning devil-killing magic Kung Fu from. He's a good seedling, and I hope that he can choose to learn from me. But if he chooses you guys, then don't be happy, because he won't be your disciple, and he already has a master." Ren Tianyong's words made his junior brothers and sisters even more curious about Chen Zhang's identity. Chapter 1783. Chen Shang looked at the demons behind him, and realized that those strange-looking demons were actually being grabbed by the tall, red humanoid monsters, and were biting them bit by bit. After eating the monsters, the humanoid monster was absorbing the energy of the other monsters and was becoming stronger. Although there weren't many changes to his body, the evil aura became stronger and stronger. As Chen Shang pondered, he followed the rest and ran back to the divine city, thinking about the Hell Devil Emperor. According to the conversations of the war gods, the reason these demons appeared here was all because of the Hell Devil Emperor. However, this god's realm was not an ordinary space, it would be very difficult to get the demons from other worlds to come here if one wanted to create so many cracks in this place. Could it be that the Hell Devil Emperor has a powerful divine king supporting him from behind? Chen Shang could only explain that the divine king had already disappeared from the god's realm for a long time and had been hiding there, plotting something. Although the humanoid monsters behind them were strong, Ren Tianyong and the others didn't seem to be too nervous at all, so they weren't too worried. After all, there was still the devil-killing heavenly god inside, as well as the first and second batch of mysterious and powerful disciples. After Chen Shang and the rest rushed into the city gates immediately closed up. "Boss, do we still need to deduct points? How much are we deducting?" the 5th brother asked. At this moment, many people were very concerned about this matter. "There's no need to deduct points. You've already done your best. I never thought that those demons would be so powerful. That's no longer within our capabilities. It's none of your business." Ren Tianyong laughed. "Next up, we just need to wait inside the city for a while. After senior brother and the rest are done cleaning up, we will be able to recover our calm." After everyone heard this, they happily split up and left in a group. Those demons are really powerful, especially those monsters with crystals on their foreheads. It took me, old Tai, and I a lot of effort to kill a small one. Xiao Chou sighed. Looks like our strength still needs to be improved. Chen Shang, you can go to the 10th floor of the devil-killing divine palace. Ren Tianyang whispered to Chen Shang. Chen Shang and Xiao Chou greeted each other and quickly walked towards the devil-killing divine palace, entering the 10th floor. There were 5 people on the 10th floor. One of them was Ren Tianyang, and the other 4 were the masked 2nd senior brother, 5th brother, 9th junior sister, and the youngest of the 10 great war gods. You have just joined the devil-killing divine palace, you need to learn the devil-killing magic Kung Fu, you can choose one of us. Smiled slightly, he had not revealed Chen Zhang's identity to his other disciples yet. Chen Shang nodded, this was the devil-killing divine palace's rule. Previously, Tai Chang and Xiao Chou had both told him that Tai Chang was the one who guided them, while Xiao Chou was the fatty, 5. Then how should I choose? Chen Shang asked. I'm better at fire. 2nd senior brother said, however, I can only instruct you once every month for 2 hours because I don't have much time. I specialize in the usage of special, berserk divine power. The fatty said. I'm skilled in lightning. That simple and honest 10th bro grinned. 9th martial uncle specializes in icy cold power. I've seen it before. Chen Shang laughed. The 9th martial sister nodded. Ren Tianyang asked. I am proficient in sword arts, and most of the devil-killing magic Kung Fu I use are related to sword arts. There are still 5 of the top 10 war gods. Chen Shang asked again, he really did not know who to choose at the moment. Yes, but they are not responsible for coaching now. Ren Tianyang nodded his head, you should be more proficient in fire, but 2nd brother has other things to do during this period of time, so I suggest that you choose 2nd brother. Just as Chen Shang was about to make a decision, an aged voice sounded. I'll be his guide, you guys are unable to unearth his potential. The one who spoke was devil-killing heavenly god, which made 2nd senior brother and the rest quite shocked, but Ren Tianyang did not find it strange. Master, aren't you in closed-door training? Will this affect you? That 9th junior sister asked. No worries, I will personally teach him the devil-killing magic Kung Fu. In the past few million years, I have created a lot of devil-killing magic Kung Fus, but many of them were created due to various reasons that no one has learned, especially one of them. Even though I was able to create one, but even I am unable to fully display its true power. The devil-killing heavenly god said. Chen Shang, 30th floor. Yes, main heavenly god. Chen Shang hurried up the stairs. That 2nd senior brother and the rest, looking at Chen Zhang's back figure, were all shocked speechless. Boss, this little demon is that little demon that caused Hell Devil Emperor to go crazy. The fat 5th brother exclaimed, I didn't think that we would reach the god's realm so quickly, moreover, it's inside our own devil-killing divine palace. So you're saying, the reason the demons are attacking us is because the Hell Devil Emperor is dissatisfied with us. 9th junior sister frowned. Did the heavenly alchemy in his body really make Hell Devil Emperor give it his all? Ren Tianyang laughed and said, actually, Hell Devil Emperor felt that it was impossible to accept this. He gave up so much, but in the end, he could not do anything to Chen Shang. He and Chen Shang are already dead together, and now we just need to see if Master can make the God of Fortune and the Fire God let go, and stop bothering Chen Shang. Chen Shang arrived at the 30th floor but he still did not see devil-killing heavenly god this time. Devil-killing heavenly god was in closed-door cultivation and had only sent out a wisp of his consciousness to pass on his cultivation technique. Main heavenly god, since even you are unable to unleash the might of the devil-killing magic Kung Fu, why are you so confident that I can control it and unleash its true power? Chen Shang asked. Because you have the heavenly alchemy, so you can wield it by yourself. Furthermore, you have comprehended many miraculous methods from it, so I believe that you will be able to combine my devil-killing magic Kung Fu with the heavenly alchemy at that time. The devil-killing heavenly god said. Chen Shang suspected that the devil-killing heavenly god must have a certain level of understanding towards the heavenly alchemy, if not he would not know that the devil-killing magic Kung Fu and the devil-killing magic Kung Fu could be fused. 7 Devil-Slain Kung Fu, the name sounds simple, but it is extremely profound. Every move has its own changes and I will now transmit this 7 Devil-Slain Kung Fu to your mind. Chen Shang nodded his head. After he finished preparing, a few mental cultivation methods and chants appeared in his mind. He seemed to be able to understand them, but after carefully studying them, he felt that they were becoming more profound, and in the end, became difficult to understand. Chen Shang felt that it was extremely strange. Every move has 7 forms, but these 7 forms shouldn't be fixed, right? The words inside the cultivation technique are very vague. Chen Xiang was extremely confident in his comprehension abilities, but he didn't expect that he wouldn't be able to understand anything right now. That's right, the first style is a transformation that comes along with the body, the second is a transformation that comes along with the power, and that's the God power. The third style is a transformation that comes along with the will, and that's the combination of the body and God power. Chapter 1784. It was Chen Zhang's first time seeing it, but according to the difficulty of this art, it was indeed very strong. If he could use the first form of this art, it would definitely allow his power to increase by many times. Now, let me tell you about the first form, the transformation of the body. I'll combine it with my experience as devil-killing heavenly god explained in great detail to Chen Xiang for a whole 3 days and 3 nights. Chen Xiang listened very seriously and remembered it all in his mind. He thought about it repeatedly, but it was still hard to find an opening. It looks like I'll need some time to comprehend it. It's as strange as the heavenly alchemy. Chen Xiang left the 30th floor. Devil-killing heavenly god had only explained the first move to him, but it was enough for him to learn it for a long time. When Chen Xiang walked out of the devil-killing divine palace, he suddenly felt waves of weak trembling. Are the demons attacking the city? Chen Xiang heard the muffled booms, and at the same time, many of the disciples of the devil-killing divine palace all went to the city walls to watch the commotion, because the second wave of disciples had made their moves. Chen Xiang also wanted to go over to have a look, but he had more important things to do right now. Master, where are you going? Aren't you going to watch the show? Xiao Qiu suddenly ran over, and waited for him for 3 days. I'm not going. I'm going to see how much the pill furnaces are selling. Chen Xiang said. I'm lacking a pill furnace, my previous one is about to fall behind. Although the Yanlong furnace was a pretty good pill furnace, as the flames Chen Xiang released became stronger and the pills Chen Xiang refined became higher and higher, the Yanlong furnace was somewhat unable to withstand it. Then I'll go by myself. Old Tai has already helped us get a good position up there. That's because that's what the seniors are doing. It's said that those demons are also very strong. They'll be fighting for months. Xiao Qiu saw that Chen Xiang still had an expression of interest, he shook his head, and ran towards the city wall. Even when Chen Xiang arrived at the devil-killing divine city, he did not take a good look around. The devil-killing divine city could be considered a great divine city, and there were a lot of things that he could sell here. Hey, aren't you going to take a look at how the old martial brother and the others are fighting the monsters? You're the one who attracted those monsters. Chen Zhang's shoulder was suddenly patted. The one who spoke was a woman, it was the 9th junior sister. Chen Xiang sighed. I feel very guilty about this, I also did not expect that I would bring trouble to the devil-killing divine palace. Actually, this is nothing. The appearance of those monsters is not a bad thing for us. At least they can help us practice. The 9th junior sister faintly smiled. She was currently wearing a mask that covered half of her face. Her beautiful smile made people want to take off their masks even more. 9th martial uncle, aren't you going to watch the show? Chen Xiang also laughed, the female god in front of him was looking at him with a curious gaze. Chen Xiang thought that she was probably here to ask some questions to satisfy his curiosity. I've been looking at it for 2 or 3 days. It's rather boring. Oh right, what kind of cultivation technique did Master pass on to you? The 9th junior martial sister giggled. Tell me, maybe I've cultivated before. Back then I also cultivated many different kinds of devil-killing magic kung fu before finally finding a suitable one for myself, maybe I can teach you a little. Chen Xiang looked around and said, it's not convenient to talk here. After that, the 9th junior sister brought Chen Xiang to the 3rd level of devil-killing divine palace. This was her territory, and Chen Xiang even found out her name was Wang Jinxi. What, Master actually passed the 7 devil-slain kung fu to you? Wang Jinxi said in surprise after hearing what Chen Xiang had said. Is there a problem? Chen Xiang felt that this 7 devil-slain kung fu should be very strong. Although he had not learned it yet, he was very satisfied. Of course there's a problem, this 7 devil-slain kung fu is simply an unbeatable devil-killing magic kung fu. Although Master always says that we don't have enough fire talent, he has only learned 2.5 moves himself, and has also learned it for many years. When we first entered the sect 10 years ago, he taught us this devil-killing magic kung fu, which was this 7 devil-slain kung fu. We wasted several thousand years of time on it, but in the end, we still didn't learn anything. Fortunately, it's only delaying our progress in learning the devil-killing magic Kung Fu, and it's not delaying our cultivation time. Now it's your turn. The 7 devils slain Kung Fu is really deceitful. Chen Shang nodded his head. Indeed, but I think that it's very powerful. I plan to try it for a period of time. Wang Jinshi took off her mask, revealing her beautiful and mature oval face. She said with a low laugh, even though you didn't acknowledge my master as your master, he passed down the 7 devils slain Kung Fu to you, so no matter what, it can be considered half a disciple to him. From now on, you are my junior brother, so you can call me senior sister only when you and I are together. Chen Shang was stunned for a moment, then smiled. Greetings, senior sister. Little junior brother, how about this, you follow me to cultivate the demon-slaying profound cold art, so that when you are dealing with evil spirits, you will be able to use a set of devil-killing magic Kung Fu. Wang Jinshi said in a low voice. Senior sister, you should know that I'm from the alchemist. My innate ability is related to flames. Is it appropriate for me to cultivate this demon-slaying profound cold art? Chen Shang laughed dryly. This Wang Jinshi was actually so enthusiastic, if it was appropriate, he would not mind. It shouldn't be appropriate, Wang Jinshi sighed. Then when you meet Hell Devil Emperor's people in the future, you must be careful. Chen Shang nodded his head. Thank you for your concern, senior sister. By the way, I want to buy a good pill furnace. Which shop is better here? Wang Jinshi slapped the table and laughed. Of course we are going to look for second brother. Second brother is the refiner. He has been busy recently and is in a rush to refine and sell divine weapons. He needs some divine money. Only now did Chen Shang realize that he did not have much divine money on him. Can you get some credit with second uncle? Chen Shang asked somewhat awkwardly. I'm short on money. No, this guy is really stingy. He can't even be bothered about a single divine coin. There were several times when I was too short of money and couldn't even get any credit from him. Gritted his teeth in anger as he spoke of his second senior brother, but don't worry, senior sister is very generous. How much money do you need? Senior sister, you have been so kind to me. I will definitely remember your kindness in the future. Chen Shang smiled and said with gratitude. There's no need to be courteous. Youngest junior brother, your spatial energy is so powerful. How did you manage to do that? Wang Jinshi asked with her eyes wide open. She was extremely interested in this. This is my secret, senior sister, don't tell anyone, I'll tell you. Seeing Wang Jinshi, Chen Shang hurriedly nodded and said in a low voice, because I have merged with a spatial rule spiritual bead, so I can control the power of the spatial laws. Wang Jinshi exclaimed repeatedly, so that's how it is. No wonder Hell Devil Emperor couldn't do anything to you. Rule spiritual bead is truly a good item. Chen Shang scratched his chin. God's realm, are there very few of these rule spiritual bead as well? It is rare, but there are still clues I need to find. For example, the ice snow rule spiritual bead, they are mostly underneath the divine ice abyss, and there is a world of ice and snow underneath it. I've been there many times, but I couldn't find any. Wang Jinshi sighed. The last time someone sold it, it was extremely expensive and required $1 billion. Finally, it was bought by one of the disciples of the God of Fortune. Let's go and find the second brother to buy a pill furnace. If he doesn't have one that you're satisfied with, we can customize another one. Wang Jinshi pulled Chen Shang down the stairs and onto the main street. Wang Jinshi had already put on her mask. Standing beside her, Chen Shang felt a little uncomfortable. After all, this was a super profound god, and a female war god. On the way, Chen Shang found out that the second senior brother was called Yuan Bibing and was a rather famous artificer, especially in the devil-killing divine city. Many profound goddess looked for him to customize their divine weapon, so he was the richest amongst all their disciples. Yuan Bibing's shop had a very good location. There were more than a dozen very large shops, a total of 3 floors. There were a few lower-grade holy ranked equipment, but they were not forged by Yuan Bibing himself, but by the other blacksmiths in his shop. Number 2, which pill furnace is the best here? Wang Jinshi walked over to the counter and slapped the jade plate that was placed on top of the counter. The jade plate trembled for a moment, then Yuan Bibing's voice came out. What do you want to do with the pill refining furnace? You want to start refining pills, but don't you cultivate the ice-cold divine power? Second martial uncle, I want to buy it. Chen Shang said. When Yuan Bibing heard Chen Zhang's voice, he walked out of the secret room to the end of the counter. He looked at Chen Shang for a while, and then asked in a low voice. It's that darn thing called the 7 devil slain Kung Fu. Wang Jinshi stuck out his tongue. What a sin, master has cheated another ignorant youth. Yuan Baibing shook his head and sighed, then patted Chen Zhang's shoulders. Don't worry, just endure it. In a few thousand years, master will definitely be able to see that you aren't suitable to cultivate the 7 devil-slaying Kung Fu, and then on, cultivate something else will be alright. Second brother, why don't you pass your demon-slaying profound fire art to him now? Wang Jinshi said. No, if master knew, I'd be in trouble. Yuan Baibing hurriedly shook his head, then asked Chen Shang. This cauldron is the best one here, it's a middle-grade divine tool, it's worth 6 million divine money. If I sell it to you, it's worth 5.99 million. When Chen Shang heard this number, he was shocked. So expensive, I only have 5 million godly money right now. Wang Jinshi bit her lower lip. She had promised Chen Shang that she would buy a good pill furnace for him. Then what about the cheapest, low-grade divine artifacts? Chen Shang felt that as long as it was a divine stove, even if the furnace exploded, it would not shatter the pill furnace. Although the 30 godly pill furnaces are only low-grade divine tools, to be honest, those things can only be used to store water. They were even made by the weakest of refiners. That old man is still in our shop. Yuan Baibing said. Are you sure you want the cheapest one? Chen Shang nodded his head. Just 30 divine coins, enough for me to use. When I earn enough divine money in the future, I'll come here to buy a good one. No, Wang Jinshi felt that Chen Shang must have felt wrong to be using such a low-grade pill furnace, so he asked, do you have a pill furnace with 5 million gold coins? Yes, Yuan Baibing could already tell that her 9th junior sister wanted to lend some money to Chen Shang. Wang Jinshi had done this kind of thing frequently in the past. She was an extremely generous woman, and this was something that everyone knew in Devil-Killing Divine Palace. Chapter 1785. Chen Shang was not really that anxious about the divine furnace that was worth 5 million. To him, right now, he could only handle the middle-grade holy pellet and the Shengpin holy Dan S. Any good holy equipment would be able to deal with it, not to mention the god level's furnace. Therefore, these 30 low-grade god stones were considered good for Chen Shang, and were enough for him to use. If he needed a good divine furnace, that was what he needed to refine. At that time, he would have Shui Shenxian and the other girls help him refine it. In the god's realm, pill furnaces were not easy to sell, especially those kind of expensive divine furnaces. This was because those who could afford to use these pill furnaces would have their own artificers to refine them for free, so Yuan Baibing was very happy right now. No need, the 30 divine money will be enough for me to use. Chen Shang anxiously said. He did not want Wang Jinshi to spend so much money, and also give him pressure. It would be better to buy medicinal herbs for him than pill furnaces. 4,800,000. Yuan Baibing immediately said as he silently cursed Chen Shang in his heart. He actually refused to accept even a scammer like Wang Jinshi who was willing to pay. Wang Jinshi said. Definitely, you are alchemist, although you are still unable to concoct divine pills, but you have a good pill furnace, which can allow you to have twice the results with half the effort. I will lend you the divine money, you can return it to me later, I am not in a hurry to use it anyway. Chen Shang was extremely grateful to Wang Jinshi in her heart. She was so generous, and she was in stark contrast with the Yuan Baibing in front of her. Second martial uncle, give me the pill furnace that is worth $30. I want this. Chen Shang said. His attitude was firm as well. Yuan Baibing saw that the business was no longer viable and became anxious. Little brother, let me say, are you looking down on my level of equipment forging? Do you think that my pill furnace is not worth this amount of money? If it wasn't for the fact that master doted on you so much, I wouldn't have given you such a low price. The last time someone came to buy it, I wouldn't even sell it for 6 million, now I give you 4,500,000. Wang Jinshi was surprised. It was rare to see his usually stingy second senior brother actually lowering the price so much in one go. Chen Shang said to Wang Jinshi, Senior sister, I really don't need that pill furnace. To tell you the truth, my wife is a refiner, and when I really need a good pill furnace in the future, I will ask her to help me refine it. If I don't use the pill furnace that they refined, they would be in a hurry with me. Hearing this, Wang Jinshi frowned. You have so many wives. It's only 2 or 3. They haven't come to the god's realm yet, but they will definitely come in the future. Furthermore, they are all excellent artificers. Chen Shang said. Fine. After Wang Jinshi agreed, he said to Yuan Baibing, Second senior brother, I only have 2 million on me right now. Hearing that, Yuan Baibing's voice also became lighter, and he smiled to Chen Shang. Little brother, it is more suitable for you to use a low-grade pill furnace now. I just thought about it, with your current pill refining level, even if you use a high-grade furnace, it would be impossible to use it. Yuan Baibing obviously did not want to take credit, so he took out the 30-god pill furnace. Chen Shang secretly laughed in his heart. Wang Jinshi understood this second senior brother very well, so if he said that, Yuan Baibing would not insist on letting him buy it. Wang Jinshi helped Chen Shang pay the 30 divine coins, then took him to visit some other places. I'll give it back to you soon. Chen Shang looked at the little pill furnace in his palm. Although this pill furnace was cheap, it still had the ability to grow bigger and smaller. The space inside was also relatively larger, so he was very satisfied with this pill furnace. It's just a little bit of money. Wang Jinshi was really generous. He pointed to a blade and said, this blade is not bad, it's one of the better low-grade divine tools, only 100,000 gold coins, look if it's suitable, I'll give it to you. Wang Jinshi was a super profound god, but several million was still a large sum of money for a profound god like her that didn't know how to refine pills. No, I don't like it much. Even if Chen Shang wished, he could not take advantage of Wang Jinshi. After all, it was not easy for Wang Jinshi to earn money. Senior sister, how do you usually earn that much money? Chen Shang asked. F***ck, I'm the war god. I can go to the war god shrine or the devil-killing divine palace to get some missions with high rewards. Don't look at how I only have a few million on me right now, I've lent over 100 million. Wang Jinshi said. Chen Shang believed her words. She had just met him, so she wanted to lend him 5 million godly money. To be honest, among the people I know, besides a tycoon, the rest of them are all poor. Only Master is relatively rich, but he is also very stingy. Wang Jinshi looked at the emerald green long sword placed in the shop, staring intently, as if he really wanted to do that. Even boss owes me some divine money. After a while, I'll find them to return it. I want to buy a superior grade divine sword. Wang Jinshi laughed. You are an alchemist, you will definitely have money in the future. When the time comes, I will borrow money from you. You better not be like a stingy number 2, and find a whole bunch of reasons to reject me. Chen Shang felt that Wang Jinshi was a little silly, he had lent him over 100 million, but he did not take it back even now. Even Ren Tianyang owed her, so how could the disciples of the devil-killing divine palace be so poor? In the god's realm, if one did not have a good technique, it would be difficult to earn money. Even for a profound god like Wang Jinshi, it was the same. Senior sister, are you free right now? Chen Shang asked. That's right, I just completed a big business deal and plan to rest for a while. Do you have anything you want to entrust to me? Wang Jinshi continued to look at the jade sword as she called Yuan Baibing over. Yuan Baibing said somewhat impatiently, Ninth junior sister, this sword will not be short of divine money. No matter how many times I ask you, it will always be 180 million divine money. Chen Shang was shocked by this number. 180 million godly. Why is it so expensive? There doesn't seem to be anything special about it. Chen Shang curiously asked and then carefully looked, but he still could not see anything. Of course you can't tell, but this sword is a smoke sword that the sword god forged for his beloved daughter back then. It has a lot of significance, and it is a superior grade divine weapon. Wang Jinshi explained. Such an expensive item is just placed here. Chen Shang did not think that the origins of this sword was so big, he thought that Yuan Baibing refined it himself. Yuan Baibing laughed. Someone who dares to steal things here, before he comes out of the door, I will turn him into ashes. Chen Shang asked. Is the sword god very strong? Why is his beloved daughter's divine sword here? Yuan Baibing said. The sword god is a guy that even the god of fortune is afraid of. Back then, he almost destroyed Wealth Divine Palace by himself, and the sword god is also the master of the penalty heavenly god. Do you think that such a guy is scary? What about him? Chen Shang took a deep breath. He even admired the guy who dared to go against the god of fortune. I don't know, I heard he was sent to divine prison, you stayed in there for a while, have you not heard of him? Yuan Baibing asked. There were 9 blood-colored Bane stars in divine prison. He had indeed heard of some extraordinary people in other Bane stars, but he did not expect the sword god to be here. Second senior brother, I'll give you 1 million spiritual coins. How about you give me this sword for 1 year? Wang Jinshi asked. No, Yuan Bibing shook his head. 1 month. Yuan Bibing still shook his head. I won't lend it to you. If you want it, you can only buy it. 180 million. Who else can afford it other than you, master? Wang Jinshi sighed softly, then reluctantly shifted his gaze away and left the shop. Chen Shang followed behind her. It was obvious that she really wanted that smoke sword. If only Shui Yi was here, she might be able to see something. Chen Shang kept feeling that to Wang Jinshi, that sword was more than just a high-grade divine tool. There was still a battle going on outside of Divine City, and it was getting more and more intense. Chen Shang followed Wang Jinshi all the way back to devil-killing Divine Palace, and when they reached Wang Jinshi's floor, they just saw her holding onto her cheeks and looking out of the window, and the window was directly facing Yuan Bibing's shop, allowing her to see the smoke sword S. Senior sister, is that sword very important to you? Why don't you let the main heavenly god decide for you and seize that divine sword? Chen Shang asked. No, if I want anything, I have to do it through myself. This is something Master has often said over the years, so he won't help me. Wang Jinshi shook his head. Why don't you just go and take back the divine money that you lent? Chen Shang continued, at that time, as long as we gather enough resources, we will have enough to buy it. Most of them can't be taken back because most of the people who borrowed my divine money were from my team. They're already dead. Wang Jinshi let out a long sigh, carrying a trace of grief. It was clear that it was because of the death of her teammate that caused her so much pain in her heart. Chen Shang thought for a while, then said, Senior sister, what is the price of Profound God's divine deity right now? Wang Jinshi turned her head, her eyebrows knitted together as she asked suspiciously, You want me to pawn my divine deity? That won't do, if Master finds out, I'll be scolded to death. No, this is my secret. I have the Profound God's divine deity in my hands. Chen Shang smiled mysteriously. I can lend it to you, but I need you to help me with a few things. Wang Jinshi immediately opened her mouth wide and quickly nodded her head. It seemed like she really wanted to get the smoke sword. Before Chen Shang even said what he wanted her to do, she had already nodded her head and agreed. Then we'll have to see what Profound God's divine deity is. The divine deity of a lower profound god is currently around 100 million divine coins, and the middle profound god is double the price. Chen Shang had the profound god's divine deity in his hands, and he had obviously obtained it from inside the divine prison. Chen Shang took out a piece of the profound god's divine deity. This was what the Hell Devil Emperor had taken out after the defeat of the 2 war gods sent out by the Azure Dragon. Chapter 1786. This is the middle profound god's divine deity and it isn't imprinted yet. However, the aura of War God is so thick, it should be inside the War God Shrine. Wang Jinshi took it. At that time, the Hell Devil Emperor sent 2 war gods to the divine prison to kill the Azure Dragon. This divine deity must be one of them. If it was the War God's divine deity, it could be a little more expensive. You aren't even a true god yet, but you actually have such a thing. Even if I sell this divine deity and buy the smoke sword, I should still be able to save $40 to $50 million. Wang Jinshi was very excited and asked, Tell me, what do you want me to help you with? The first thing you need to do is to help me find a person called Yang Yan, who is the son of a disciple of the Shining God. Go and find out where he is, I want to know, and the second thing you need to do is to help me leave a mark in the Divine City. I want to contact an old friend here, and the third thing await until you buy the smoke sword, because that would require a huge sum of money. Quote. Wang Jinshi nodded his head. I will first go and make a move on this divine deity. I can directly look for second brother to make good on it, it won't be long. Divine deity could also be used for cultivation, so Chen Shang planned to leave a piece of profound God's divine deity for himself to cultivate. Yuan Bibing was in urgent need of divine money, so it was obvious that it was used to purchase divine pills to raise his strength. Wang Jinshi quickly left the devil-killing divine palace, where he waited for her to return. We should hurry and find Shui Yi. With her cooperation, I will be able to get more than 1 billion spirit coins as soon as possible, and then go to the divine prison to save the Azure Dragon. Chen Shang already knew that more than 5,000 years had passed in the divine prison. The 5,000 years that he had lost were lost in the passage opened by the Azure Dragon. To quickly obtain a large amount of divine money, the only way was to buy the holy level S for a low price, and then sell them for 2 or 3 pieces of the heavenly alchemy. That was the reason why Chen Shang needed to find Yang Yan. Chen Shang, who was strong and sturdy in the divine prison, should have a huge advantage in terms of access. The reason he had Wang Jinshi go to the various great divine cities to leave behind secret records was to contact Long Shui. An hour later, Wang Jinshi returned in high spirits. The moment she saw Chen Shang, she took out the smoke sword, which was her wish for many years. I sold it for 230 million, so I'll give you this 50 million. Wang Jinshi threw a jade token to Chen Shang. You only need to drip blood, you can go to the God of Fortune's native bank to receive it. Wang Jinshi fondled the smoke sword lovingly, and laughed. I've finally got it, it feels so good to be back, my darling. What, the feeling of coming back? You've had it before, Chen Shang asked in shock. Ah, Wang Jinshi realized that he blurted out something, and his eyes rolled a few times as he mumbled, about this I used to, Alright, I'll tell you, but don't tell anyone else, this sword was made for me by my father, and I am the sword god's daughter. Actually, this sword was made for my mother by my father, and my mother's name is Fei Yan. Wang Jinshi bit her lips. This sword was the only thing her parents had left for her. Chen Shang was not too surprised, he had already seen through it before. Does main heavenly god know about this matter? I don't know, please don't tell him, although my father is the sword god, he isn't very popular in the god's realm. Originally, he had already been sent to hell with his body, but the hell did not manage to trap him, and he even caused a ruckus. Finally, the gods joined forces to seal him in the divine prison. Wang Jinshi solemnly warned Chen Shang. So powerful, Chen Shang imagined the sword god playing around in hell with the divine sword in his hand, and he felt very excited. This is my secret, I only told you this because you helped me get this sword back. Do not tell anyone, Wang Jinshi warned Chen Shang again. In order to conceal my identity, I don't even dare to use my father's sword technique. Chen Shang said, if you don't dare to use it, then pass it to me. I dare to use anything. No, it's not that I'm petty, it's just that the sword technique is too dangerous, not inferior to your heavenly alchemy. God's realm has 4 great taboo magic, which is similar to my father's god-murdering sword techniques. God-murdering sword techniques, this is a good name. Chen Shang was suddenly very interested, and said quickly, Senior sister, can you pass the god-murdering sword techniques to me? How about you write off the divine money you owe me? Wang Jinshi laughed, how can taboo magic be so cheap? Even if I offer 10 billion, I can still sell it. Then forget it, Chen Shang sighed. Chen Shang had helped him so much, and now that she saw Chen Zhang's expression, Wang Jinshi felt a little sorry. Although her father never said that it couldn't be spread to others, she was worried that it would bring trouble to Chen Shang. However, the god-murdering sword techniques is different. The devil-killing heavenly god has always regarded this sword technique as evil, and if he were to find out, it will definitely be very troublesome. Wang Jinshi said. Don't worry, I don't need to use it. Even if I use it, I will be very careful. I'm very good at it. Chen Shang used the same devil arts that Bai Yu taught him back then. Wang Jinshi hesitated for a while, then sighed and pointed at the center of Chen Zhang's brows. After I pass this god-murdering sword techniques to you, you have to promise me a few things. Firstly, you must not leak out the fact that you possess the god-murdering sword techniques, and secondly, if you want to pass it on to others, you must get my permission first. Chen Shang hurriedly nodded. I promise you, to tell you the truth, I plan to go to the divine prison again. I want to save the Azure Dragon, and at that time, I will help you find the sword god. Alright, Wang Jinshi immediately transmitted the god-murdering sword techniques into Chen Zhang's mind. Wang Jinshi said, you said before, what was the third thing you wanted me to do for you? Don't worry, I will help you finish it. This will require some divine money. I want you to help me purchase a batch of middle-rank divine medicine. Chen Shang said, of course, if you can find Yang Yan, I will let him do it. I never thought that you would be so good to the people of the Wealth Divine Palace. The god of fortune was working with the Hell Devil Emperor to capture you. Wang Jinshi said. This Yang Yan is different. When I was in divine prison, he helped me before. Chen Shang laughed, moreover, this guy doesn't really agree with the god of fortune. Chapter 1787. After Wang Jinshi left the devil-killing divine palace, Chen Shang also returned to Tai Cheng's house. He felt that it would be much better over there. The devil-killing divine city had only closed the city gate, but it could still be transferred to the other great divine cities. Wang Jinshi could quickly finish what Chen Shang had told him to do. Chen Shang entered the secret room. He had previously told Tai Chang that if he entered the secret room, there was no need to disturb him unless it was something extremely important. Although this divine stove is of low quality, it is already pretty good for me. It is enough for me to use for a period of time. When Chen Xian and the others come up, I'll get them to help refine a better one. Chen Xiang allowed the furnace to grow a lot larger, and took out the demon crystals he had collected before. There were a few hundred in total, and they contained a dense amount of energy inside. To become a true god is to become one. At that time, even if I have to face profound god or evil demons that are much stronger than me, I will be able to escape. Chen Xiang threw a huge pile of demonic crystals into the divine furnace. He placed all of the crystals into the furnace in one go. Refining so many crystals was not difficult for him at all. Although it was his first time using this divine stove, Chen Zhang's adaptability was strong, and he would be able to adapt to it very quickly. Using the infinite refining and Chuangzhao fire, he spent one day and one night to refine the hundreds of crystals into a small pill. I'm only a step away from becoming a true god now. This pill should be able to help me advance a level. After Chen Xiang swallowed it, he operated the heavenly alchemy and started cultivating. Who was currently cultivating with his eyes closed, did not feel the passage of time. The inner yuan of his soul is the so-called emperor soul, and right now, he wants to condense a soul lattice within the inner yuan. As long as he had enough resources to support him, coupled with a decent amount of cultivation methods, it would not be difficult for him to condense a soul lattice. Right now, he could see that a very small crystal had already appeared in his inner yuan. With the heavenly alchemy, I will be able to accomplish twice the results with half the effort. When Chen Xiang cultivated using the heavenly alchemy, he refined the pellet he ate very quickly. At the same time, he was also able to quickly condense soul grimoires, which was equivalent to refining pellets. It didn't take long for his soul lattice to be very large, and he had almost absorbed all of the power brought by the pill. It's begun. Chen Zhang's mind stirred and he began to integrate his divine deity and soul origin soul. All of this was like refining pills and he needed to knead everything together, make them fuse together perfectly and create an even more powerful effect. Although it was not concocting a pill, in Chen Zhang's eyes, it was as if he was concocting a pill. For an alchemist like him who cultivated the heavenly alchemy, this was extremely easy. Ning. Chen Xiang channeled his heavenly alchemy, and suddenly released a very strong power of dissolution, transforming the thing he needed to fuse into primal chaos, and then, he fused it together again. The moment Chen Zhang's divine deity, divine soul and soul were fused perfectly, he suddenly felt a vast power surging over, making him almost shout out loud. This is a true god. Chen Xiang looked at his divine sense-see world. The space inside was growing larger and larger, and he could already generate a weak energy of his own. If his physical body was destroyed at this moment, if his soul was able to escape in time, he would still not die, and he might not even lose his boundless divine power. The so-called true god should mean that the soul has already evolved to the same level as the original body. Chen Xiang spread open his palm. With a thought, a white light flashed on his palm and a little person the size of a thumb appeared. This little person was exactly the same as him, only a lot smaller. Chen Xiang reached out to pinch this little person. This little person's skin was soft and tender, and was extremely real. The most powerful part of this little girl was that she could transform into a hollow spirit, which allowed her to dodge attacks to a certain degree. The divine deity has already been compressed to a very small degree and is hidden inside. Chen Xiang poked the little girl's stomach with his finger, and couldn't help but smile, and then placed it inside the divine sense CS. This way, it would become safer. Chen Xiang did not cultivate for too long this time, it only took more than 10 days, but the battle with the devil monsters outside the city was still not over. Thinking about how the crystals of those demons were so easy to use, but they would definitely be destroyed in the other battles within the heavenly god level, Chen Xiang felt his heart ache. These demons are really powerful. Chen Xiang walked into the hall and sighed. Master, you didn't go watch the battle. It's such a pity, we witnessed the power of the second group of disciples from the main heavenly god. Those are all real gods. Xiao Chou was a little excited. I will become a god in the future, but I will be even more powerful. Chen Xiang asked, has anyone come to find me these past few days? Yes, ninth martial uncle came to find you and told you to go find her immediately. Tai Chang said. Xiao Chou smiled mysteriously, Master, this ninth martial uncle seems to treat you quite well. I'm working with her right now, so don't think too much. Chen Xiang lightly patted Xiao Chou's head. After the big battle is over, you guys can go find a good mission. We'll go practice together. Chen Shang quickly walked out of the house and headed towards devil-killing divine palace. Wang Jinshi would be here 5 days ago, so the task that Chen Shang asked her to do was extremely smooth for her. Seeing Chen Shang coming over, Wang Jinshi said unhappily, "You are not training here, are you treating me like an outsider?" "Of course not." Chen Shang laughed dryly and asked, "How is the matter, did you find Yang Yan?" "I found it. He has already returned from the divine prison. He has returned for over 100 years. Wang Jinshi said. "And I have already left those imprints in the various divine cities, is there anything else I need to do next?" "Where is Yang Yan? I'll go find him first. Just don't refuse when I need your help in the future." Chen Shang laughed. Of course not. Knowing that Yang Yan had fallen behind, Chen Shang was slightly happy and immediately left the devil-killing divine city. This was the divine city constructed by one of the 4 disciples of the god of fortune, brilliance, and was also a great divine city. Yang Yan was the disciple of brilliant god, so it was normal for him to be here. Yang Yan, this guy, stayed in the divine prison for so long, he should have gotten a lot from his father. Chen Shang arrived at the entrance of a native bank, where a few words were written. Yang Yan's father, Yang Kai Rui, was a disciple of the shining god. After returning from divine prison, he was arranged to take care of the native bank here. This native bank was very big. After all, this heaven-brilliant divine city was also a huge city, and as the only native bank here, its size was definitely not small. Although Yang Yan lived in the native bank, he only stayed there when he was resting. Usually, he stayed in the high-class restaurants here, becoming stronger friends, just like when he was in the divine prison. Therefore, Yang Yan's circle was very wide, and that was why Chen Shang asked for his help to purchase the middle-grade medicinal ingredients. It's this restaurant. Tianguang restaurant is really impressive, to the point of almost catching up to devil-killing divine palace. Chen Shang could not help but exclaim in admiration. In this splendid-looking restaurant, other than being slightly shorter than the devil-killing divine palace, it looked better than him in other aspects. After Chen Shang went in, he immediately went to find the shopkeeper, and said that he was Yang Yan's friend, and asked him to inform him. When the shopkeeper heard that it was Yang Yan's friend, he did not pass it down, so he immediately arranged for a waiter to bring him in, because lying about as Yang Yan's friend would have very serious consequences. Chen Shang followed the waiter to the 10th floor. There was no separate room, there were only many neat tables and chairs, and in the middle, there was a round table, on it was a group of beautiful girls wearing red clothes, dancing in a beautiful and captivating manner. On the tables and chairs around the stage, there were a total of about 100 people. Chen Shang quickly found Yang Yan at the closest table, but he was the only one there. Although the people on the other tables and chairs could sit here, they didn't dare to walk too close to Yang Yan right now. As for the women on the stage, they were dancing with the beautiful music. Because Yang Yan was looking down on him with all his might, no one dared to disturb him. There were still some people who could not sit still, and brought a jade box to Yang Yan's side, but just as he said that, a big-sized man standing behind Yang Yan glared at him. "Young Master Yang, this is 100,000 years of talent A." Before the man finished speaking, Yang Yan frowned and waved his hand. Yang Yan said indifferently, "This is all because of your greed. For a little thing, you killed people and stole their goods, now that someone has come looking for you, you brought this upon yourself. If I were you, I would have gone to all divine palaces as punishment hall to receive my punishment." That person's face was deathly pale. He let out a helpless sigh and turned around to leave. Chen Shang never thought that this Yang Yan would actually be so popular. Everyone who came to find him were obviously looking for his help, even him. At this time, there were people who wanted to come over, and with heavy gifts in their hands, the big-sized man standing behind Yang Yan seemed to be sending a sound transmission to those people, telling them to immediately return to their original positions. Chen Shang thought that his relationship with Yang Yan was close, so he also walked over. He didn't bring any gifts and just passed by. When the others saw how untactful he was, they sneered in their hearts. They all thought that he would be forced to retreat by that heartless big man. Chen Shang heard the big-sized man's sound transmission and said that young Master Yang did not like being disturbed by others watching him dance. But Chen Shang did not care about it. Not only did he walk over, he even sat on a chair beside Yang Yan and picked up his chopsticks to eat. What made everyone dumbstruck was that Chen Shang did not treat himself as an outsider and continued to wolf down his own food. Chapter 1788, Chen Shang did not say anything. He did not want to disturb Yang Yan watching the dance. He just did not want the food on the table to be wasted. He believed that eating and drinking to the side would not affect Yang Yan. Seeing Chen Shang like that, everyone was secretly surprised. They suspected that Chen Shang recognized Yang Yan, but when they saw the face of the big-sized man behind Yang Yan, they understood that Yang Yan did not know who he was. They thought carefully and suddenly understood one thing, that was, Chen Shang did not disturb Yang Yan, did not talk to him, and only ate the food that Yang Yan did not eat, and drank the wine that Yang Yan did not drink, and Yang Yan did not even look at him once. Everyone was patiently waiting, and Chen Shang was also carefully tasting all the good dishes on the table. After he finished eating, he licked his lips, leaned on the chair, and crossed his legs, watching the beauties dance on the stage. After the dance ended, the dancing lady gracefully left the stage. Yang Yan then asked, "Who are you?" As expected, the two of them did not know each other. Everyone silently cursed themselves for not having the courage to go over and sit, which meant that Yang Yan was clearly testing someone else. The dishes just now were too cold. Although the taste was not bad, I was not too satisfied, moreover the wine was not too good either. Young Master Yang, it is not right to entertain a friend like this. I just did not want you to pour out a table of cold dishes, so I forced myself to eat and drink it all. Chen Shang grinned. It's about time you serve me a table full of delicious dishes. Yang Yan laughed. That's right, using cold dishes to entertain friends is indeed my fault. Soon, there was another table of dishes on the table. It was steaming hot. This time, Yang Yan raised his cup and drank with Chen Shang, while also eating. However, Chen Shang still did not reveal his identity to him. Although Yang Yan was very strong, Chen Shang suspected that he was already a profound god. However, he was still unable to recognize him, and was extremely satisfied with his transformation technique. "Brother, where are you from?" Yang Yan asked. "I just came over from devil-killing Divine Palace. That place is too noisy, those demons are always outside fighting and killing." Chen Shang chewed on a big pile of food. He used his chopsticks and pointed at the food on the table, and shouted, "Quickly eat, eat, don't be so polite." Everyone cursed at this fellow who refused to accept others as his guest, but Yang Yan did not flare up. It was clear that he admired Chen Zhang's character. At this time, there were also people who came up one by one to give their gifts. However, this was all done by that big guy to help him with some things, and to make that big guy remember that if he couldn't help him, he would make that big guy return the gifts. Hell Divine Palace and Devil-Killing Divine Palace have always been on bad terms, so it is not strange for such a thing to happen. I just did not expect that Devil-Killing Divine Palace would actually have such a powerful strength, that the second batch of disciples from Devil-Killing Heavenly God would all appear as a group of God with no surname, and that they would be extremely powerful as well. Quote, "As for the first batch of disciples in the Devil-Killing Heavenly God, they were even more mysterious. In the God's realm, many people believed that the God of Fortune was the strongest, and because their 4 disciples were all turned into little God of Wealth, they were also powerful gods. Their fame was great, and they were rich, which was why they gave others this illusion. Actually, the hidden strength of the Devil-Killing Divine Palace is more terrifying. The third group of disciples of the Devil-Killing Heavenly God are all from the super profound God, and before long, they will become gods. At that time, the overall strength of the Devil-Killing Divine Palace will increase by many times." Everyone nodded their heads. Although the second batch of disciples from the Devil-Killing Divine Palace was not a secret, and many people knew that they were in the Devil-Killing Divine Palace, but this time, they were all here to fight against those terrifying blood demons, and they had already killed many of them. Yang Yan continued. "Right now, it's only because of all Divine Palaces' restrictions, so Devil-Killing Divine Palace doesn't dare to break the rules set by all Divine Palaces. Otherwise, Devil-Killing Divine Palace would have already openly attacked Hell Divine Palace. Now, the Hell Devil Emperor's strength has gradually weakened, because he had always been controlling the 9-heaven world, causing large-scale deaths in the 9-heaven world, thus obtaining a large number of dead spirits and obtaining a large amount of powerful strength. Now that the 9-heaven world has been taken over by the all-divine palaces, the Hell Devil Emperor can no longer do anything wrong, so the Hell Devil Emperor will continue to move forward." Chen Shang said. Hell Divine Palace should have a certain level of strength since he was able to fight with Devil-Killing Divine Palace for so many years, and if Hell Devil Emperor wants to make a move, then he must break the rules set by all Divine Palaces, and bring him from Hell to God's realm as the ruler. But by doing this, the all-divine palaces will definitely join hands to deal with him, so he only has a one-day journey to search for power to support him. I heard that the War God Shrine, Fire Divine Palace and the Wealth Divine Palace have all cooperated with him before. These shrines were all one of the strongest shrines in the all-divine palaces. If he could obtain the support of these shrines, it wouldn't be difficult for him to take down half of the god's realm. Yang Yan did not say anything, because he was someone from the Wealth Divine Palace, and he was not willing to be with the Hell Divine Palace at all. He waved his hand, signaling the big-sized man to bring him away. Very quickly, only Chen Shang and Yang Yan was left. Just who are you? Yang Yan felt that Chen Shang was very extraordinary. Chen Shang grinned. I don't think so. As Chen Shang laughed, he changed back to his own appearance, causing Yang Yan to curse him. I knew I would see you again. I didn't expect to meet you again and start drinking with you for no reason. Yang Yan laughed. It's been over 5,000 years, and you entered the god's realm so quickly. Furthermore, your life seems to be pretty good, and you actually managed to get rid of the Hell Devil Emperor's tracing mantra. I don't have 5,000 years. Chen Shang laughed bitterly, then explained the matter to him. This made Yang Yan admire him even more. Chen Shang said, Big brother Yang, after I left, how was the Azure Dragon? I know he killed those profound goddess. Yang Yan sighed. He killed all of the profound god, but because of that, he was sent to hell with his body. He has been in hell for more than 4,000 years, and was suddenly brought back to divine prison. Then can he come out? It was a good thing for Chen Shang that the green dragon was strong. It was just that it was not easy to get the green dragon out. Yes, but it will take a lot of divine money, so it should be worth 10 billion divine money. This is not easy to get. Even if I were to use Brilliant God, I wouldn't be able to get that much all of a sudden. Yang Yan said, all the prisoners in the 4th to 9th Bane are priced at this price. Right now, Chen Shang not only wanted to save the Azure Dragon, but also Wang Jinshi's sword godfather. Chapter 1789. Chen Shang now understood that the god-murdering sword techniques was not cheap at all. In the future, if he wanted to bring out the sword god, the price would not only be 10 billion, it might even be higher. The Azure Dragon truly is formidable. Even the infernal realm won't be able to trap him. Yang Yan laughed. You don't have to worry about him. He is currently in divine prison, and should be living a good life. The green dragon was doing well, but Chen Shang still had to go and save him. Big brother Yang, I came here to ask for your help. Chen Shang had initially planned to use the 40 million in his hands to buy medicinal herbs for concocting pills, but after selling them all, he would buy all sorts of medicinal herbs. He repeated this process again and again until he had gathered enough to buy back the Azure Dragon, but who would have thought that the Azure Dragon would actually kill them all? Go ahead. Yang Yan laughed. If you can help, I will definitely help. I need more mid-grade holy elixirs. I will mainly use them for alchemy. As long as it is a pill bought by many people, please buy it for me first. Chen Shang took out a jade tablet, and continued, here is 40 million divine money. Yang Yan understood what Chen Shang was trying to do. This was the rhythm of the crazy pill refining. He had heard that Chen Zhang's pill refining skills were extremely mystical, but he had never seen it with his own eyes. Medial-grade holy elixirs are bought by a lot of people, and they are usually used to temper the soul, healing the body, and detoxifying the body. They are all sold in the market, and some rare and unconventional elixirs are hard to sell because there are only a few of them. Yang Yan received the jade token from Chen Shang. Inside the token, there was 40 million gods coins. Chen Shang was also surprised by the fact that he could get his hands on such a large amount of divine money as soon as he arrived in God's realm. Alright, I'll do whatever I can get. I'll come look for you later. Yang Yan asked. Your tracing mantra has already been expelled. Chen Shang smiled slightly. That's right, but if Hell Devil Emperor is too anxious, he might cast a curse on me, so I have to quickly increase my strength. I will be leaving first. Yang Yan sent Chen Shang downstairs and he hurriedly left, returning to the devil-killing divine city. Just as Chen Shang returned to the devil-killing divine city, one of his jade tablets started to shake. This jade tablet was a proof from the disciples of the devil-killing divine palace. It had a use for summoning messages. We'll gather at devil-killing divine palace in 3 days. This voice belonged to Ren Tianyang, and it was obvious that there was something he wanted to announce. The battle is over. As Chen Shang walked on the street, he saw that everyone was talking about this matter. The devil-killing divine palace had achieved complete victory, beheaded a large number of demons, and sealed the entrance to this foreign world where the demons had come from. He returned to the devil-killing divine palace, wanting to find Wang Jinshi and ask him about some important matters that would be announced 3 days later, but no one came. He then went to Yuan Baibing's shop, but he did not find Yuan Baibing either. All the war gods had actually disappeared, and Chen Shang guessed that they had all been gathered by the devil-killing heavenly god. Returning to the courtyard house in the villa, Xiao Chou and Tai Chang were both present. The gathering 3 days later. Did you receive the notification? Xiao Chou asked. Chen Shang nodded. What is it? Tai Chang said. I heard Master say that main heavenly god was holding some kind of convention and it seemed like they were going to show off their might in order to counterattack. I don't know the specifics either. Xiao Chou laughed. When the time comes, we will definitely strike out, I have long prepared. Master, you should hurry up and learn some devil-killing magic kung fu. Otherwise, when you start fighting with the Hell Divine Palace, you won't be able to withstand it. Brat, are you looking down on me? Chen Shang laughed. How would I dare? I know that Master has always been very strong. Even if I fall behind temporarily, I'm sure I'll be able to quickly make it back in the future. Although Xiao Chou said this, he still had that intention in his heart. Chen Shang had nothing to do now, so he stayed in the secret room to study the 7 devil-slain kung fu. Right now he only knew that the first style required the use of the physical body's strength. There were 7 different types of changes in the first style, each one very strong, but each person's comprehension of the changes were different, so main heavenly god could not teach him in detail. I can only rely on myself now. Fortunately, I have the philosophic stone. Chen Shang closed his eyes and started to study the first style of the 7 devil-slain kung fu. What he needed to do now was to comprehend the first type of change and use this change to unleash his own physical body's power and display the powerful might of a devil slayer. Is the body changing according to the strength of the body or the body changing according to the strength? Single quote. Chen Shang followed the chants and controlled his own strength to circulate, causing his bones to constantly make crisp sounds. His muscles also moved up and down, making him look extremely strange. No, I don't have any leads. Chen Shang tried for more than 2 hours, but his entire body was covered with sweat and he was panting. I need to cooperate with the heavenly alchemy. Chen Shang focused. The devil-killing heavenly god mentioned this to him many times. Let me first check if there are any methods to use the strength of the fleshly body in the heavenly alchemy. Chen Shang began to comprehend the heavenly alchemy, to look for the physical body section. It didn't take long before he found a method to strengthen his fleshly body. However, it didn't contain much information. It only described how to utilize the strength of the fleshly body along with the power of the soul to temper the entire body. The most direct way to unleash the strength of the body is to let the body make a violent and ingenious collision, or to make a skillful collision. Usually, the body has to make contact with the body in order to be able to unleash the greatest amount of power. If I do this, I'll need to engage in close combat. The heavenly alchemy states that I need to maximize the strength of my fleshly body. First, I need to coordinate with my speed, and then I need to find the target's fragmented points. The first form of the 7 devil-slain kung fu's transformation is the change between strength and speed. It's both fast and slow, and as long as it's just right, and coupled with the sudden release of the physical strength, the corresponding strength will be different. I already know 2 changes from the first movement. It seems like there are some connections between these changes. Now, let's try the chants together. Chen Shang coordinated the heavenly alchemies in the first part of the 7 devil-slain kung fu's chant, then began to practice all sorts of techniques in the secret room. 2 days later, the house that Tai Chang rented suddenly became ruined. Xiao Chou and Tai Chang were drinking and chatting in the hall, but at this moment, they were covered by the ruins. What surprised them was that the collapse of the house was extremely strange. The house was extremely sturdy. If he wanted to knock it down, the required strength was extremely strong. Even if he had used his flesh strength to do so, there would still be a slight tremor coming from it. However, this mansion suddenly collapsed without any warning, and what made them feel even stranger happened just now. They lightly touched some broken pieces, but they unexpectedly turned into dust. A gust of wind blew over, turning many of the broken pieces of the mansion into powder. Chen Shang was ecstatic in his heart, because he knew that he had successfully grasped 2 changes to the first style of the 7 devil-slain kung fu, the change in power and the change in time. Chapter 1790. The 7 devil-slain kung fu was indeed as powerful as devil-killing heavenly god had said. but it was very difficult for one to learn it, and Chen Shang had already comprehended a little bit, so he could clearly feel the terror of the 7 devil-slain Kung Fu. For example, when he punched just now, he used the combination of time and energy. The powerful force had destroyed the house, but because it was moving too fast, the house had become invisible, so the house had already collapsed. It was only a delay before it collapsed. This was also the reason why Xiao Chou and Tai Chang did not sense any signs of destruction. The house had long ago been destroyed, but the speed at which it was destroyed was too fast and it worked well with the power of the explosion, so it was too late for the house to collapse. In other words, Chen Zhang's strength had already surpassed the original time limit. He did not use divine power, but only the strength of his fleshly body was able to slightly display the power of the laws. This was also the reason why Chen Shang was shocked by the power of the 7 devil-slain Kung Fu. What's going on? Xiao Chou could not understand. Previously, everything was fine, but in the blink of an eye, the house had been turned into this state. Even if it was destroyed by a strong power, the process of it being destroyed was very short, but at the very least, he could see what the house was broken into. When Chen Shang destroyed the house, there was no process. In an instant, the house turned into pieces that appeared on the ground, and didn't even have the process of falling to the ground and cracking. It was as though a person, who was just a child just a moment ago, had turned into an adult in the blink of an eye, then into an old man. And Tai Chang's current experiences were like this. They felt that they did not experience the period of time the house collapsed, but lost that period of time. Master, quickly tell me, don't laugh. Xiao Chou couldn't even think of a way to get a bald head. That is a cultivation technique I have just learned. It can slightly alter the circulation of time. This change is caused by the effects of power, and the change in time can also make the power to be even stronger. Chen Shang said with a smile. He was now more looking forward to the 7 devil-slain Kung Fu, the first form of the 5 transformations. Xiao Chou gasped in surprise, and asked, "How is it powerful, can you teach me?" Chen Shang laughed. "I'm afraid you won't be able to learn it." Tai Chang suddenly lowered his voice and said, "Is this from the 7 devil-slain Kung Fu?" Chen Shang nodded. Xiao Chou seemed to have heard of the 7 devil-slain Kung Fu before, so he was feeling dejected. "It's actually the 7 devil-slain Kung Fu, you learned it so quickly." Tai Chang had a face full of shock. "I had read a bit about it back then, but I was completely confused. Even my master and uncle master teachers could not comprehend it in the slightest." And not long after Chen Shang had joined the devil-killing divine palace, he was actually able to unleash such a strange power through the 7 devil-slain Kung Fu. Chen Shang made a hush gesture, indicating that he and Xiao Chou had kept it a secret. "What should we do about the mansion? Old Tai rented it," Xiao Chou said. "Just rebuild it. It won't be worth much money, not destroying this place," Tai Chang said. He now felt even more respect for Chen Shang. "Let's go, the 3 days are almost up. Let's go to Devil-Killing Divine Palace to gather and see what we have to announce," Xiao Chou said. Chen Shang and the other 2 quickly reached the 20th floor of the Devil-Killing Divine Palace. Many people had already arrived there, and Wang Jinshi and Yuan Bibing were there as well. Soon after, other war gods arrived as well. What made everyone disappointed was that they did not see the 10-second group of disciples. Those were all powerful gods, and the devil-killing heavenly god did not appear either. Long story short, I called everyone here today to say a piece of good news. Ren Tianyang laughed. "Everyone should already know that we are going to counterattack Hell Divine Palace. According to the latest intelligence, Hell Divine Palace has raised a group of demons in Devil Yang Valley, and they are all using different types of demons to fuse together, so they are very strong. Currently, many of these monsters have already appeared in the demonic sun forest outside of Devil Yang Valley. Now, we can openly kill these demons." Ren Tianyang took out a black crystal and continued to speak, "As long as you can get this kind of crystal, when you come back you will be able to get extra points. With 1 jin of 10,000, if you get enough, you can get a low-grade divine tool worth 500,000 gold coins." "1,000,000 points?" the 5th brother asked with a smile. "High-grade divine artifacts. As long as you can acquire them, you'll definitely have them." Ren Tianyang laughed. "Everyone, this is a godly activity, because those demons are very easy to kill, but you all have to be careful. As long as you go through the forest outside of the Devil Yang Valley, do not ever enter the Devil Yang Valley, unless your team has a war god." Hearing that they had the chance to get a mid-tier divine tool, everyone became excited. Let's start our journey now. If the Hell Divine Palace sends war gods to stop you, you don't have to worry, our gods are already there waiting for them. If they dare to obstruct us from exterminating the evil demons, then we can kill them openly. Everyone immediately left the devil-killing Divine Palace and ran towards the transmission array. Youngest junior brother, your team only has 3 people, it's pretty bad. How about you join my team? I am a war god, and my team also has a few profound god. We can fight our way into the Devil Yang Valley and get more of those crystals. Wang Jinshi whispered to Chen Shang. No need, Tai Chang and Xiao Chou are both my friends. When I'm with them, there's no need to worry too much about being exposed. Although Chen Shang had removed the tracing mantra, in order to prevent too many things from being leaked, he still planned to keep his identity a secret. Alright, you have to be careful. Xiao Chou and Tai Chang were both fantasizing about which middle-grade divine tool to choose. Hurry up and leave, didn't you see how those guys all want to be reincarnated hungry ghosts? If you go too late, you won't even have hair left. Chen Shang patted their shoulders. Chen Shang didn't know who that Devil Yang Valley was, but Tai Chang knew that they would need to walk a distance to get to the Devil Yang Valley. First, they would need to be transferred to a small divine city, and then, they would need to walk from there. If someone had a powerful divine artifact, they would be able to use it to travel at high speed. For example, the Azure Dragon Cloak. All of these bastards have this sort of soaring sky divine tool. After Xiao Chou left the divine city, he saw many people riding on large flying divine tools, flying quickly towards the Demon Sun Forest. Tai Chang and Xiao Chou originally wanted to catch up, but they were stopped by Chen Shang. We'll go after them, follow me. Xiao Chou and Tai Chang could only believe in Chen Shang. They followed Chen Shang to a small mountain and saw him opening a spatial passageway. I almost forgot that Master used this technique, haha. Xiao Chou laughed excitedly. After that, the 3 of them walked into the spatial tunnel. When Chen Shang came, he had already known the location from Tai Chang. It's not here yet, but it should be soon. Tai Chang took out a divine disc, and confirmed his current position. Chen Shang continued to open the spatial door. After a few times in a row, they arrived at the top of a large mountain, and in front of them was a vast expanse of forest. This forest was relatively special, its leaves were all black, the trees were very tall and full of leaves, densely packed together. When the wind blew, the leaves swayed, looking like black water floating. This is the Demon Sun Forest. The Devil Yang Valley is at the end of the forest. It's still far away, Tai Chang said. Xiao Chou saw a gigantic flying disc in the distance. He brought dozens of people and jumped down from it as he curled his lips. Looks like we aren't the first ones here. This second martial uncle of mine is an artificer. Of course it's for sale. This guy really lacks money. The frisbee he used is really good stuff. It flew away so quickly. Tai Chang said. Just as Chen Shang and the other 2 were watching the fiery sun forest, many flying divine tools arrived behind them, flew above the forest and then jumped into the forest. Let's go. Tai Chang flew up to the sky and flew in a direction that no one else had gone. Just as Chen Shang and the other 2 entered the forest, the jade token suddenly vibrated. This was an urgent message from Ren Tianyang. The Hell Divine Palace has also sent people over. When the time comes, we might encounter people from the Hell Divine Palace, and directly start killing them. If we can't beat them in time, then we will have to escape. Do not try to fight them head-on. After Xiao Chou finished listening, he said, can you add points to killing the disciples of Hell Divine Palace? I don't think so. The reason Master didn't say that, is also because he wants us to not fight head-on. Tai Chang said. At that time, we'll be more careful. Chen Shang was already a true god now, so neither Xiao Chou nor Tai Chang knew of it. Therefore, they were walking in front of him and warned him from time to time to be careful. Even though I didn't learn any useful devil-killing magic Kung Fu when I came to the God's realm, I have learned some powerful devil-suppressing Kung Fu before. Furthermore, I can use the devil-slaying god wind, which is enough for me to deal with those who cultivate the power of the devils. Chen Shang said. Don't underestimate me. Come on Master, your 7 devil-slain Kung Fu is still incomplete. The things you have learned in the past, it would be useless against the demons in the God's realm. Xiao Chou held onto his pike, walking in the front, using the big scissors in his hand to occasionally cut off some devil flowers that would bite. There's someone. Chen Shang suddenly transmitted to Xiao Chou and Tai Chang. It's behind the tree in front. This guy had concealed himself very well, I almost didn't notice it. The spatial realm that Chen Shang had released had a very wide range. All the objects within the spatial realm would appear in his mind, so even if the person hiding were to hide, as long as they were in the same space as Chen Shang, they would not be able to hide. Really, why didn't we find out? Xiao Chou was shocked. Both he and Tai Chang thought that their sensing ability was not bad, but when Chen Shang told them the location, they couldn't even find it after using their divine power to search for it. Continue walking, don't alert that guy. If he wants to ambush us, then we will do it. When the time comes, we will catch him off guard. Chen Shang sent a sound transmission to Xiao Chou and Tai Chang, telling them not to stop. Chen Shang could feel that the person who was hiding was not very strong, and was at the same level as Tai Chang. As long as Xiao Chou and Tai Chang knew that there was an ambush there, they would be able to defeat it. Chapter 1791. The person who was lying in ambush was extremely cautious. Upon sensing that something was amiss, he slowly moved, as though he did not plan to attack Chen Shang and the rest. When they got closer, Chen Shang sent a sound transmission to Xiao Chou and Tai Chang. This guy is worried that he won't be able to take us down, so he doesn't plan to attack. You two hurry up and stay far away from me, that way he would sneak attack me. Master, is this appropriate? Xiao Chou was a little worried for Chen Shang. When the time comes, you can act a bit faster and everything will be fine. Chen Shang was not afraid at all. Although that person was strong, it was almost impossible to succeed in ambushing him under the circumstances that he knew. Xiao Chou and Tai Chang sped up their footsteps, purposely leaving Chen Shang behind. Sure enough, the person made the same move as Chen Shang had expected. His movements were extremely quick and violent, and he shot over like a black ray of light. Tai Chang and Xiao Chou, who were already prepared, were extremely fast. In an instant they flashed to Chen Zhang's side and unleashed a violent attack, in an instant launching several moves. They had all used devil-killing magic Kung Fu and released a divine light that rushed forward like a wave. Chen Shang had already dodged. Taking out his Suzaku bow, he released an arrow at the person that was drowned in the demon-slaying god power. It was a split second of attack, but it was the full power of both Xiao Chou and Xiao Chou's attacks. The remnant shockwave caused a large portion of the trees to shake, and the person was burnt black by the energy, falling flat on the ground. It's from the Hell Divine Palace. I didn't expect us to meet so soon. Xiao Chou walked over and kicked him twice. He did not die, he just lay on the ground naked. Chen Shang walked over, held onto the man's head and used a devil art to absorb his soul. Let's throw away this divine deity. There's the mark of the Hell Devil Emperor inside. Xiao Chou said. It's fine, I'll keep it. Chen Shang placed the divine deity inside the ring. Inside the ring was a space for channeling his spirit power, after which it would be isolated from the outside world, so the Hell Devil Emperor wouldn't be able to sense it. This divine deity could not be sold, but to Chen Shang, who had the heavenly alchemy, this divine deity was a good material for refining pills. Looks like the people from Hell Divine Palace have been lying in ambush here. If not for Master, we might have been ambushed by that guy. These bastards have such strong concealment abilities, it's really troublesome. Xiao Chou cursed. He looked around, afraid that there would be more ambushes. Chen Shang laughed. With me here, even if they were hiding on the ground, I would be able to discover them. Let's quickly go deeper in to find those demons. I think there will be more demons outside Devil Yang Valley. Xiao Chou and Tai Chang nodded in agreement. Afterwards, the three of them rushed to Devil Yang Valley as they approached the gate through it. We're almost at the Devil Yang Valley. There are already a lot of demons here. Xiao Chou looked at the footprints on the ground. Tai Chang said, these demons are the result of the Hell Divine Palace's fusion. They might even merge with some beasts, so they definitely won't be too weak. Let's not underestimate these demons. Xiao Chou said, as long as it's not a group, we are not afraid. Chen Shang suddenly frowned and looked in a direction. There are monsters over there, there are quite a few of them. Do you want to go over to take a look? A few. Xiao Chou hesitated for a moment, then shouted, let's go. They had not killed any monsters for a long time, and now that they had finally encountered them, it was only natural that they wanted to experience the strength of these demons. The three of them carefully walked over. They wanted to use a sneak attack. Inside Chen Zhang's space domain, the three of them had concealed themselves very well, and they could already see the 5 demons. They looked like gorillas, but they were covered in a kind of black armor, their back had sharp thorns, and their mouths revealed 2 long steel fangs that were flashing with sharpness. Old Tai, leave the highest one to me. Pick one yourself, master. Don't move from here, Xiao Chou whispered to Chen Shang and Tai Chang. Tai Chang nodded his head, then the two of them quickly attacked together, Like two bolts of golden lightning, they shot forward. In the blink of an eye, Xiao Chao's spear, which carried a strong demon-slaying god power, pierced through a demon's head. Tai Chang's scissor cut off the demon's upper body. Xiao Chou quickly pulled out his spear and stabbed it towards another monster like lightning. At the same time, he avoided the black liquid that the other monsters were spraying at him. "There's poison here. Be careful." Chen Shang sent a sound transmission to Xiao Chou. "The demon you attacked did not die." The demon monster whose head was pierced by Xiao Chou roared out. The hole in its head suddenly leaked a thick black liquid, and the wound immediately healed. As for the demon monster that had its body cut off by Tai Chang, after its two halves merged together, they actually linked together, and also completely recovered. "What are these monsters?" Xiao Chou fiercely leapt into the air, avoiding the black light shot out by the demons. The black light was laced with light green poison. If it took even a bit, then nothing good would happen. Tai Chang also frowned. His scissors had already cut off the heads of a few monsters, but those heads and bodies seemed to have a suction force. Even if he kicked them off, they could quickly return back to their bodies. "Tai Chang, use your fastest speed to cut off their heads. Leave the rest to me," Chen Shang said. Tai Chang immediately followed their orders. After avoiding the demon's attacks, he quickly cut off their heads. Chen Shang used his spatial energy and opened a crack that led to a tyrannical space. Afterwards, he put the two heads inside, and just when he thought he had taken care of them, the 5 demon heads actually grew out of it quickly. "It won't work if this goes on. You guys try using the devil-killing magic Kung Fu first." Chen Shang sent a sound transmission to them and then used the Chaos Divine Eye to check the black crystal in the demons' bodies. That was their energy source. As long as they could take the black crystal out, these demons would be easy to deal with. "It's actually in a place like this, and it's so small at that." Using the Chaos Divine Eye, Chen Shang saw the black crystals. The bones hidden in his thighs were only the size of walnuts. At this time, a few demons came again. Xiao Chou and Tai Chang had to struggle with them, because these demons were not weak, and their attacks were poisonous, unable to inflict heavy injuries on them. Divide through space. After Chen Shang locked onto the black crystals on the legs of the demons, he used the power of the space law to separate them out. 12 black crystals suddenly appeared in front of Chen Shang, and at this time, the attacks of the monsters had already stopped. They couldn't even stand steadily and were blasted by Xiao Chou and Tai Chang into black smoke. Why did he suddenly fall down? After a moment of doubt arose in Xiao Chou's heart, he immediately turned to look at Chen Zhang's location only to see 12 black crystals floating in front of him. Chen Shang chuckled. "Although these guys are powerful, they don't have brains. They don't know how to defend against me." Chapter 1792. Seeing that Chen Shang had revealed such a move, Xiao Chou's face was filled with shock. He placed his hand on top of his heart. "Master, wouldn't that mean you can casually pull out my heart?" Chen Shang laughed. "Of course it's not that easy. If you feel a weak power of space approaching you, you will definitely take action. As long as you react quickly, I will not be able to do anything and will only be more effective in dealing with these demons. Unless I can do it silently and without the slightest fluctuation of spatial energy, then I might be able to easily take out your heart." Xiao Chou immediately became excited. "Then let's go to Devil Yang Valley. When the time comes, old Tai and I will divert the attention of the demons." Chen Shang nodded. "We better hurry up, the war god teams are so powerful. If we were a little slower, they might kill us all." Tai Chang laughed. "Those demons are also not easy to deal with. There might be more powerful demons in Devil Yang Valley." After figuring out the magic beast's speciality, Chen Shang also felt that there was nothing to be afraid of for the demon beast. As long as they didn't meet any extremely powerful demons, he would be able to take out the black crystal in a few seconds. Their position was already very close to the Devil Yang Valley. The leaves of the forest were pitch black. It was difficult for one's vision to penetrate through, so it was dark inside the forest. Currently, there was a very strong light in front, meaning that they would be able to exit the forest very soon, and they would be able to see the entrance to Devil Yang Valley. "He's finally out. He's the Devil Yang Valley." Xiao Chou pointed to a large area in front that was covered in black qi. "The demonic energy is soaring into the sky. I wonder what powerful things are hidden inside. Those war god teams should have already entered inside." Tai Chang said. "Even though Master said that we are not allowed to enter without the help of a war god, but with the strength of the 3 of us combined, it shouldn't be too weak. Furthermore, Brother Shen possesses formidable spatial strength, so if you are in danger, you can escape quickly." There were a lot of demons outside Devil Yang Valley, but it was not enough for Chen Shang and the other two. Furthermore, they were scattered and needed to search in the forest. Just like this, the three of them did not take Ren Tianyang's warning to heart and directly entered the Devil Yang Valley without profound God. When they were at the entrance of the valley, an extremely strong demonic pressure made their chests feel stuffy. "It's really dangerous inside," Xiao Chou exclaimed, but his face showed no fear, as did Tai Chang. Chen Shang was not afraid at all. With a smile on his face, he replied, "If there really are a lot of demons inside, and everything goes smoothly, we should be able to get a middle-rank divine weapon for each of us." When he mentioned the middle-grade divine weapon, Xiao Chou was immediately excited. He laughed. "Quickly kill your way in, it's good with Master here, we can save a lot of energy." The three of them faced the dense evil chi and walked towards Devil Yang Valley. Not long after, waves of eerie and low howls came from within. It was creepy to hear, and it was shrouded in a faint black mist that made it impossible to see into the distance, giving this place an even more eerie feeling. "Master, I cannot use my divine power to sense too far from here." Xiao Chou became extremely vigilant. "Me too." Tai Chang was a lot slower. "I'm fine, the black fog here can corrode God power." Chen Shang used spatial energy, so he was still very clear about the movements in his surroundings. In order to prevent Xiao Chou and Tai Chang from leaking their auras, the space domain he released also surrounded them. The 10 war gods have entered. Chen Shang could already feel a weak ripple from far away. Moreover, there was already a huge battle going on inside, so most of the demons and monsters here were attracted over. Xiao Chou and Tai Chang never thought that the inside of the Devil Yang Valley would have such a vile environment. If not for Chen Shang, they would have already left, because they felt that they were currently blind and this place was filled with dangers. "Don't worry, this black fog is just outside. There shouldn't be any black fog inside." Chen Shang brought Xiao Chou and the others and gradually approached the depths of the Devil Yang Valley. After walking out of the black fog region, there was a desolate, chaotic land in front of them. It was extremely vast, and Chen Shang and the other two saw many black demons of various sizes in the distance. These demons were different from the last time when they attacked devil-killing Divine City. They were all of different colors, but they all had one thing in common, and that was that they had strong regenerative abilities. The powerful monsters have all gone to deal with the war god Profound God, the remaining ones aren't that powerful. Chen Shang laughed. Tai Chang saw the monster in front attacking a sturdy man holding a rainbow-colored umbrella, and shouted in shock, "It's that guy, he's my big senior, the umbrella in his hand is a good low-rank divine weapon." Xiao Chou said, "Let's not go to his place. This guy's temper is bad, if we go there, we will definitely be scolded by him." Tai Chang looked in that direction and said, "No, he seems to be having a hard time right now." Chen Shang also saw that the big-sized man's demon-slaying god power was weakening. It was obvious that it was extremely strenuous. Although his attacks were fierce, and there were even some demons that were turned into minced meat by his attacks, but the regenerative abilities of the demon monsters were extremely strong. As long as the black crystal was not separated from the monster's flesh, it would quickly regenerate. "Eldest senior brother, why is it just you? Where are the others?" Tai Chang used his large scissors to cut off a few dozen of the legs of the demons. Then, he used his Suzaku bow to burn all of those thighs off, at the same time collecting the black crystals. "Do you kids want to die? Our team already lost more than 10 people, Master's whereabouts are unknown, the people sent by Hell Divine Palace were very powerful, they have been lying in ambush for us for a long time, now we have to retreat." The man shouted, "You guys hurry up and leave. I'll help you block these monsters. Quickly, eh?" Before he finished speaking, Chen Shang had already opened a dimensional door. Then, Xiao Chou kicked him in and sent him flying out of the Devil Yang Valley. Begin. A burst of god power surged out from under his feet, and the ground started to burst into flames as it turned into a Taiji array. When the Taiji array revolved, it produced an extremely strange suction force. When coupled with Chen Zhang's spatial energy, it caused the surrounding demons to appear as if they were taking a few steps in their original spot. Xiao Chou and Tai Chang saw that the 100 demons around them were frozen in place by Chen Shang in an instant. At the same time, they were shocked, and they had already made their move, using the demon-slaying palm to attack the demons around them, crippling their bodies and dispersing their defensive powers so that Chen Shang could take out the black crystal. The moment Chen Shang released his spatial energy, the black crystals that he had locked onto instantly disappeared into the legs of the demons, and came around him. Attack! When Xiao Chou shouted, it was as if Tai Chang used an even stronger Devil Slayer divine power, as if he was slapping an ant. The Devil Slayer palm struck out, turning the bodies of the demons into black ashes. Chen Zhang's face became serious. More than 10 members of the First War Gods team actually died. It seems like there are a lot of ambushes here. You guys can still leave first. I'm worried that I won't be able to care about you guys later. If it were just me, I would have escaped much easier. Xiao Chou and Tai Chang looked at each other and nodded. Just send us out into the forest. Xiao Chou said. Chen Shang opened up the spatial tunnel. Xiao Chou and Tai Chang walked in and left the Devil Yang Valley. Change. Chen Shang immediately turned into a gorilla-like monster. Even the aura emitted from his body was the same as those monsters. Along the way, Chen Shang met many demon monsters, but none of them attacked him. Just as he had guessed, these demon monsters had very simple minds. They could only differentiate one another through their qi. Just like this, Chen Shang blended into the group of demons, and while they were not paying attention, he locked onto the black crystal in their legs and used the power of space to retrieve those crystals. A black crystal is about a jin of weight. I've already gotten more than 300 jins, but that's only 300 jins. Only 10,000 jins is enough to reach 100,000 jins. Chen Shang calculated in his heart and realized that it would not be easy to gather 100,000 points. At least killing 10,000 of these demons was enough. The Devil Yang Valley was very big. Chen Shang could get his hands on over 300 jin so quickly, so he could be considered as very fast. As long as he could gather 1,000 jin, he would be able to get 10,000 yuan in exchange, and he would be able to get an inferior grade divine weapon that was worth 500,000 gold coins, which was not bad for many people. Hopefully there will be more demons here. It will be enough for me to obtain 30,000 jins of this black crystal for 3 medium-grade divine tools. Chen Shang had already calculated Xiao Chou's and Tai Chang's share. Other than that, Chen Shang also wanted to know what had happened. Inside's group had lost 10 people, which was a huge loss. I wonder how Senior Sister is doing. She should also be here, right? Chen Shang was a little worried for Wang Jinxi, as she was ranked 9th, and although she was the sword god's daughter, she could not use the god-murdering sword techniques, so her strength would be greatly reduced. There were many demons outside, and there were thousands of them. It had only been 4 hours, and Chen Shang had already collected all of the black crystals on their bodies, but he did not kill any of them. This is Yuan Baibing's flaming aura. What a fierce battle. Chen Shang did not hear any sounds, but he sensed a strong aura of flames coming from them. It was clear that the battlefield was still far away. If these demons run away like that, it will cause quite a bit of casualties. How did the Hell Devil Emperor manage to get these demons? They are pretty well fused. Without using any methods, it would be hard for normal people to kill them. Chen Shang looked at the demons around him. He secretly admired the Hell Devil Emperor, who had used the evil powers of the infernal realm to create such a strong army of demons. However, if the devil-killing divine palace knew about it, it meant that this group of demons was destined to be exterminated. There's no more fire energy. Is the battle over? Chen Shang did not sense the aura of Yuan Baibing's flames, and he suspected that there was definitely another world deep within the Devil Yang Valley. Chapter 1793. Gold House Home Page Total Clicklist Weekly Clicklist Monthly Clicklist General Collection Legacy Version Collect Golden House Set as First Page Gold Room Chinese Golden Book House /images/HJW_10.jpg Golden Room Chinese Golden Room /images/banner.jpg /images/HJW_15.jpg First Page. The article's query. Popular keywords. The great king of the Da'alards is sparing your life in the myth of the era of flying swords. Light blue ocean, bright yellow, handsome green, light elegant red powder, aristocratic family, white world, gray world, gold house, Chinese. Authors. Fantasy, Oriental fantasy, upgrade, cultivation, hot blood, shuang shuang, beauty, queen palace, martial god, elegant, ambiguous, pills, silent rogue, arrogant pill god. More, please remember the name of this site. Golden House, Pride World, Pill God, Valley Surprise. Chen Shang walked along the way as he obtained some black crystals of some demons and monsters. In front of us is the place where Yuan Baibing fought. Chen Shang saw a pitch-black scorching scar in front of him. The ground was burned down to a layer of crater, and there was still a scorching aura left. The burnt ground was very wide. Chen Shang guessed that Yuan Baibing used it to kill demons just now. The black crystals of these monsters are very hard to melt, and they contain very turbid and violent energy. They are not suitable for refining pills, and they are different from the crystals of the monsters from before. Chen Shang had tried it out on the way here. Having been in Demon Yang Valley for such a long time, Chen Shang had yet to encounter any strong demons. Even if he met them, he wouldn't be attacked because he had disguised himself well and was able to easily weave through the horde of demon beasts. After passing through that burnt area, Chen Shang once again sensed Yuan Baibing's flame aura, and discovered that it wasn't too far away from him. This guy can quickly obtain the black crystal even after burning all the monsters. This way, I will have a hard time meeting any monsters on the way. It seems like I shouldn't go in his direction. Chen Shang had originally planned to take a look at Yuan Baibing, but now he guessed that Yuan Baibing was quickly killing demons in order to obtain a large amount of black crystals. Previously, he had learned from Wang Jinshi that Yuan Baibing was very short on money during this period. Changing directions, Chen Shang very quickly encountered a group of demons, and after using his spatial energy, he took out the black crystal in the monsters' bodies. I wonder where senior sister is. Ren Tianyang's group has already lost more than 10 people. Chen Shang used his heaven tour and released a few threads of his divine soul to fly in every direction to search for Wang Jinshi. 5,000 jin. It seems it won't be too hard to get 30,000 jin. It had only been half a day since Chen Shang arrived here, yet he had easily obtained 5,000 kilograms of that kind of black crystal. Just as he took away the black crystal of a group of demons, a black wind suddenly blew over, enveloping the entire Demon Yang Valley within. The divine soul he released to look for Wang Jinshi had been corroded by the black wind and dissipated. What a powerful demonic storm. It seems that some powerful demonic beasts have taken action. Could it be the gods of hell? Chen Shang thought, and walked towards the direction of the gust of wind. This black wind did not last long before stopping. What made Chen Shang incredible was that right after this black wind disappeared, a large number of demons appeared around him. These demons were actually blown by this gust of wind. Could it be that he was cultivating a devil just now? How on earth did he do it? Chen Shang looked around at the dense demons and monsters in shock. These demons looked much stronger than the ones before, and the armor on their bodies were very sturdy, so much so that normal divine weapons would not be able to pierce through them. Chen Shang used the Chaos Divine Eye to observe, and saw that the black crystals of the demons were still hidden in his thighs. Furthermore, he had disguised himself as one of the demons and had not been discovered, so he used the power of space to easily take out a batch of the black crystals. How did these demons come into being? If not for the strength of a true god, even a demigod would find it hard to deal with these demons. Chen Shang was shocked. If the demon emperor were to place these demons in the 9-heaven world, the consequences would be severe. Chen Shang suspected that the demon emperor of hell had this plan all along. Only if even more people died, would he be able to obtain a large number of dead souls, and then level up even faster. Worried that the demon emperor of hell would do such a thing, Chen Shang took the black crystal from the bodies of the demons even more mercilessly. The demons did not have black crystals. Although they could still live, they would gradually die if they were unable to absorb energy and store it in their bodies. One day passed. It had only been 1 day since the start of the operation, but many things had already happened. Eldest brother, what's going on inside? Why haven't they come out yet? Tai Chang looked at the mouth of the valley with a worried expression. It was now night, and the moon hung in the sky was a bit red. From time to time, demonic winds would blow out from the Demon Sun Valley, making eerie whistling sounds. After Xiao Chou and Tai Chang came out, they also found the man at night. I don't know, I can't enter the Demon Sun Valley now, and the people inside won't be able to come out either. Master told me to do this, and at night, the entire Demon Sun Valley will become even more terrifying. Not only our squad, but the other Martial Uncle's squad will suffer heavy losses. The big man's face was filled with grief because his companions who had gone through life and death with him were all inside. Moreover, more than 10 of them had already died. What? Why is it like this? When we came, didn't we say that there would be a second group of disciples coming to deal with the Hell God Hall? Xiao Chou hurriedly asked. No, the demons in this Demon Yang Valley are not just born from the Temple of Hell. The big man clenched his fist. Master said so. Anyways, we're screwed this time. The monsters inside will only get more and more terrifying. Maybe the demons that attack the city might appear inside as well. If they did not have the power of God, they would be in great danger. Now, we can only see if the main heavenly god will appear. Xiao Chou and Tai Chang were not very worried about Chen Shang, because Chen Shang possessed that strong spatial energy. At night, Chen Shang also felt that something was wrong. Right now, the black crystal he had obtained was already more than 2,000 kilograms. He was very satisfied because there were still a lot of demons here. On the way, all the demons he met would not be able to escape his hands. The space has been sealed. Chen Shang encountered a group of demons, but he was unable to use his spatial power. This made his heart jump, which meant that he was unable to open the spatial passageway to leave this place quickly. What happened? Everything was fine before. Chen Shang was currently in a group of demons. He had just found a group of demons, and just as he was about to attack them, the spatial energy was ineffective. A low and deep bird's cry suddenly sounded out in the valley. It sounded a little similar to a goshawk, but it was very heavy, and when Chen Shang heard the sound, the demons around suddenly started to walk quickly. These demons were all in human form. However, they looked like gorillas with barbed armor on their bodies. They looked very cumbersome, but at this moment, they were running agilely. Chen Shang wanted to find out what was going on, so he snuck into the group of demons and started running with them. In front of them was a tower-shaped tower that looked like an altar. This altar was extremely large, and there were many spikes on it. A few bloody corpses were stabbed on the spikes just like that, and under the light red moonlight, it was extremely eerie. They are all disciples of the Devil Slayer Temple. Chen Zhang's heart skipped a beat again. Out of those small teams, there were actually more than 100 who died, and they were all part of the War God's squad. More and more demons gathered here. There were more than 200,000 of them. These demons suddenly began to loudly howl. That terrifying roar shook the ground, and after echoing in the valley, the sound became even more strange. This is a, Chen Shang suddenly sensed a few strong auras. One of them belonged to Yuan Bibing and the other one was approaching quickly. Chapter 1794. The article's query. Popular keywords. The great king of the Daolords is sparing your life in the myth of the era of flying swords. Light blue ocean, bright yellow, handsome green, light elegant red, powder, aristocratic family, white world, gray world, gold house, Chinese. Authors. Fantasy, Oriental fantasy, upgrade, cultivation, hot blood, shuang shuang, beauty, queen, palace, martial god, elegant, ambiguous, pills, silent rogue, arrogant, pill god. More, please remember the name of this site. Golden house, pride world, pill god, god of heaven made his move. Chen Shang was secretly excited, although there were only a few, but since they dared to come, they must have a very good chance of winning. Senior sister is here too. Only a few of the 10 war gods have come, the rest are coming. Chen Shang could not help but think in a bad direction. Ren Tianyang, Yuan Bibing, 5th elder, senior sister and 10th elder, are there only the 5 of them? Chen Shang had already seen the 5 war gods land on the altar. He had even released a fire and burned the disciples who were in a miserable state to ashes. For so many years, the old demon destroyer has been extremely cautious and confident. In the end, he also suffered a huge blow. Ha ha. The piercing laughter was accompanied by a chilly wind. The previously restless group of demons had now all quieted down. At first, Chen Shang had thought that the one who had spoken was the demon emperor of hell, but after careful consideration, he didn't think so. He had come into contact with the demon emperor before, and no matter if it was his voice or his aura, he didn't sound like the demon emperor of hell. Evil God, the reason why you were able to be reborn was because the demon emperor of hell was secretly helping you. The demon emperor of hell, as a member of the Pantheon monastery, had actually released an evil being like you, who is a threat to the god's realm. He will definitely be punished by the Pantheon monastery. Ren Tianyang's voice was ice cold. This time, so many of his companions and fellow disciples had died. An evil god had appeared out of nowhere. Furthermore, it had been killed by a devil slayer god. It must have been sent to hell. Now that it had revived, it was clear that it had something to do with the devil emperor of hell. Now, who knows that I've come out? Furthermore, you're just a bunch of corpses. I'll send you all to meet the demon emperor of hell. The evil god laughed wildly. You guys are not my match at all. Even if the other 5 fellows are still alive, you guys still won't even be able to harm my fur. While the evil god was laughing maniacally, Ren Tianyang took out a sword and was already prepared to fight with his life on the line. The ground suddenly shook. It was not the evil god who made a move, nor Ren Tianyang nor the rest of the 5. It's Master. Wang Jinshi shouted in surprise. Evil god, I was unable to purify your divine soul last time. This time, I definitely won't let you off. Upon learning that 5 of his disciples had died, the devil slayer was enraged. Rays of golden light shot down from the sky that had been filled with evil energy. The giant golden palm passed through the black cloud and smashed apart the demon Yang Valley's divine array. In that moment, the seal on space was removed. Chen Shang was extremely happy. He anxiously used his strongest spatial energy and locked onto the demons around him. Come here. Chen Shang moved extremely quickly, taking away more than 100,000 black crystals in an instant, and a large number of demons fell down in an instant. Who did it? An angry voice sounded. This was the voice of the evil god. The other 100,000 plus demons suddenly turned into a black wind and disappeared. It was obvious that the evil god was protecting these demons. This group of demons came from the back, and were even stronger than when Chen Shang met them. Although they were considered treasures to the evil god, to be able to kill more than 100,000 in an instant made him extremely angry. Right now, only Chen Shang was still standing there. Although he had turned into a monster, but with a thought, he knew that Chen Shang had done it. That evil god knew very clearly that the monster in front of him was not one that he had created. Bastard, you killed so many of my treasures. Die. The evil god was on the verge of going crazy, his voice carried incomparable hatred. In that instant, Chen Shang was locked onto by an extremely terrifying evil energy. The one who died was you. The Devil Slayer let out a loud shout and completely destroyed the divine formation. The golden light illuminated the entire demon Yang Valley, purifying all the demon corpses on the ground. All of the evil aura in the valley disappeared in an instant. Right now, it had been unleashed to its limit. It was like a blazing sun in the dark night, and even in the incomparably vast demonic sun forest, all the demons and monsters were purified, turning into a white mist and dissipating. This kind of shocking power clashed head-on, causing Chen Zhang's heart to thump wildly. He finally experienced how terrifying the gods of this ancient divine palace were. Before the Devil Slayer god's demon-slaying palm had even landed, the evil god had already let out a painful cry. A black figure had appeared in the sky. It was the evil god who was about to flee. He was extremely tall, but Chen Shang and the others could clearly see the evil god melting bit by bit. I will get even with the demon emperor of hell. This time, the evil god's divine soul could not escape. Even the powerful divine deity were completely destroyed. The remaining palm power was still very terrifying, but the Devil Slayer god was able to immediately retract it. This bit of control was admirable to Chen Shang. At least he couldn't do it. It would be extremely difficult to retract the attack, and if he couldn't control it well, he would still be injured. The silver moonlight scattered down and the cool breeze returned to its previous calm state. The Devil Slayer god slowly descended from the sky, and while he was dressed in plain clothes, he had a long, white hair and was standing straight up. Although he was currently feeling very sad and angry, he did not give off a strict feeling, which showed that he was normally very benevolent. Originally, he would not have given others a very aged feeling, but after knowing that he had lost so many disciples and 5 beloved disciples due to his negligence, he had become much older. Master, Ren Tianyang called out softly. The Devil Slayer closed his eyes and let out a long sigh. However, the moment he opened his eyes, it was as if he had become a completely different person. His eyes, which were originally filled with grief, suddenly became extremely sharp as they flickered with a threatening glint, as though an incomparably sharp sword had been unsheathed. Go back and rest for 3 months. 3 months later, at sunrise, we will gather at the entrance of the Temple of Hell. The voice of the Fiend God was filled with killing intent. Chen Shang had now changed back to his original appearance. The Devil Slayer God looked at him. Will you come when the time comes? The one who killed more than 100,000 demons in one go was actually Chen Shang. The 5 of them could never have imagined that it was this brat who had not even learned the Devil Slayer divine art. Even if it was them, they probably couldn't have killed those demons that quickly just now. Of course, I'm also a member of the Devil Slayer Temple. Chen Shang said. Moreover, I also have a grudge with the Demon Emperor of Hell. In the past, he always came to deal with me, but now I have the chance to attack him. 3 months of time to prepare was still a bit urgent for Chen Shang, but when the time came, with the Devil Slayer God to suppress the infernal Demon Emperor, he didn't have to worry about anything else. The Fiend God nodded, then flew into the air and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Go back and prepare. This time, it's different. We are finally going to attack the Hell Shrine. Ren Tianyang clenched his fists. Chen Shang opened up a spatial passageway, saying, leave from my place, you can leave Demon Sun Valley as soon as possible. At this moment, everyone was feeling very heavy. One reason was because they wanted to fight the Hell's Shrine, while the other reason was that so many of their comrades had died. Ren Tianyang and the others left through Chen Zhang's spatial tunnel and arrived at the forest outside. Through the communication of the Jade Tablet, they quickly gathered together. After the Devil Slayer left Devil Sun Valley, he had already told this matter to the disciples outside. Thus, everyone was in the same mood. Without a word, everyone returned to the Devil Slayer temple in grief. On the other hand, Chen Shang and the others had returned to the villa and arrived at Xiao Chao's residence. The Tai Chang's residence had already been destroyed by Chen Shang and was in the process of being rebuilt. "Master, what's going on inside?" Xiao Chou asked after he came back with a sigh. This was also what Tai Chang wanted to know. Chen Shang roughly explained the evil god's matter. "Anyway, our Devil Slayer Divine Hall has suffered severe losses this time. Main Heavenly God is also blaming himself, so he has made the decision to start a war with the Hell God's Hall. The two of them are fighting. I wonder if the other halls will stop them. This usually violates the rules of the other halls." Xiao Chou rubbed his bald head. He was going to have a big fight in 3 months. Even though he loved fighting, he was still looking forward to it. No, if the Devil Slayer God Palace declares war on the Hell's Temple and the Hell's God Hall accepts the battle, then there will be no violation of the rules. It's just that at that time, the other halls in Divine City will not be implicated. Tai Chang understood these rules very well. Chen Shang asked, "What if the Hell God Hall doesn't agree to battle?" Tai Chang poured a bowl of wine for Chen Shang and replied, "If you don't accept the challenge, then continue to declare war. If the opponent doesn't accept the challenge after declaring 3 times in a row, then attacking would not be a violation of the rules. Of course, declaring war requires 500 million God coins, so if our Devil Slayer temple wants to attack the temple without being punished by the other halls, we need to spend 1.5 billion God coins. For a powerhouse like the Devil Slayer temple that didn't have any industry, this 1.5 billion was no small amount. How can we do that? Aren't we supposed to be led astray by the nose by the deities Templar? It's obvious that they want us to declare war on them, but we're not willing to spend money." Chen Shang curled his lips and said. At this time, Wang Jinshi pushed open the door and entered the room, saying, "Our Devil Slayer Divine Hall doesn't need to spend money, because the evil god was released by the Demon Emperor. According to the agreement, as long as the evil god appeared in God's realm, it would be the fault of the evil god. The Temple of Hell will definitely choose the latter. If they are attacked by all the other temples, even 2 of them might not be able to survive." Tai Chang and Xiao Chou quickly bowed to Wang Jinshi. After all, he was their senior. 9th martial uncle, what was the evil god all those years ago? Very few people seem to have talked about it in this period of history. Taekyong loved to collect stories like this. Because the evil god and the god of fortune are brothers. In short, this matter is extremely complicated, and I am not too clear about the specifics. Back then, it was because Master was wary of the god of fortune that we did not completely eradicate the evil god. Wang Jinshi whispered. Chen Shang and the other 2 were very surprised that such a thing had happened. Wang Jinshi sighed. Back then, the god of fortune was not like that. My master suspects that he has been controlled for many years. Maybe the god of fortune is no longer the god of fortune now. This suddenly made Chen Shang think of the matters of the Mei Emperor. Back then, the Mei Emperor was also controlled by an extremely ingenious method. Chapter 1795, The Articles Query. Popular keywords. The great king of the Daolords is sparing your life in the myth of the era of flying swords. Light blue ocean, bright yellow, handsome green, light elegant red powder, aristocratic family, white world, gray world, gold house, Chinese. Authors. Fantasy, Oriental fantasy, upgrade, cultivation, hot blood, shuang shuang, beauty, queen, palace, martial god, elegant, ambiguous, pills, silent rogue, arrogant, pill god. More, please remember the name of this site. Golden house, primordial, pill god, super god, restricted area. Chen Shang had always thought that the god of fortune was actually like that. Because the ice dragon was enslaved by the god of fortune, the image he got from the god of fortune was extremely bad. 9th martial uncle, you came so late. Is there anything you want to tell us? Wang Jinshi was usually very enthusiastic, so if he asked for their help, they wouldn't refuse. Wang Jinshi said, "My team only has 12 people left, I hope you guys can join." My team lost the most. Wang Jinshi sighed sadly. Originally, there were dozens of them, but now there were only 12 left. She had experienced this many times over the years, so she had already let it go. This, Xiao Chou said with some difficulty. Old Tai is the disciple of Master Uncle and I am also the disciple of Fat Master. It wouldn't be good for me to join your team. Don't worry about that. Their team has more people than me, so they won't mind. Wang Jinshi said, if the two of you join, I'll find a way to get you a set of good divine equipment as soon as possible. We'll attack the Hell's Shrine 3 months from now. Tai Chang said, as long as Master doesn't object, I have no objections. Xiao Chou also nodded. Wang Jinshi looked at Chen Shang, what about you? It doesn't matter. As for the matter regarding the divine equipment, leave it to me. They are my 2 good friends, and I will help them deal with them. Chen Shang asked, when we were leaving earlier, did the matter of exchanging our points for a divine weapon still hold? When they mentioned this, Xiao Chou and Tai Chang's eyes lit up. They knew that Chen Shang had used that method to get a lot of black crystals, but he had gotten so many. Of course, many disciples are waiting in line at the shrine now. How many do you have? Wang Jinshi asked. Although she saw Chen Shang knock down over 100,000 demons, she did not know that he had used his spatial energy to store the crystals into a treasure. Chen Shang scratched his face and said, it should be more than 100,000 kilograms. I have never weighed the specifics. Chen Shang actually managed to get over 100,000 kilograms, that was over 1,000,000 points, it was enough to get him a superior grade divine weapon. There are roughly 140,000 pieces of black crystal and 150,000 kilograms of black crystal. Chen Shang quickly counted the black crystals stored in the ring before speaking again. Wang Jinshi exclaimed, then those 100,000 monsters that instantly fell were all taken away by you. When she thought about how Chen Shang had mastered the spatial energy, Wang Jinshi was not that surprised anymore. She realized that she had still underestimated Chen Shang. Ninth Martial Ant, the Devil Slayer Divine Hall has suffered a great loss. Would Brother Shen be unable to exchange them for divine artifacts? Tai Chang still couldn't believe that Chen Shang got so many black crystals. That was much more than the 10 great warlord squads combined. Wang Jinshi replied, don't worry, our exorcist God Hall will not go back on our words. Chen Shang killed so many demons and this is a huge contribution, even if he did not manage to obtain so many crystals, Master has already planned to reward him. This can be exchanged for a high-grade divine tool and 2 mid-grade divine tools. Does our Devil Slayer Divine Hall really have that many good divine weapons? Chen Shang was worried that his demands would be too high, making it difficult for him to enter the Devil Slayer Temple. Wang Jinshi said with a smile, since Master has declared war on the temple, he must use all of his power. When that happens, Senior Brother will definitely appear, and he will be Master's first batch of disciples. He has always been very mysterious and powerful. Thinking about those 10 mysterious disciples, Chen Shang and the other 2 became even more confident. Let's go to the Devil Slayer Temple and give your black crystals to Master. He needs them, Wang Jinshi said. Chen Shang followed Wang Jinshi to the Devil Slayer Divine Palace and sat in the same room as the Devil Slayer God. Ren Tianyang, Yuan Bibing and a few other disciples were there. There's a total of 140,000 jin. You alone managed to get so much, causing the Demon Emperor to lose so many of these monsters. It should be enough to make his heart ache for a while. The Devil Slayer God looked at Chen Shang with great comfort. You haven't learned the Devil Slayer divine art yet, but when you deal with these evil beings, you are this impressive. I am not mistaken about you. Ren Tianyang and the others secretly curled their lips. They all knew that the Devil Slayer divine art that Chen Shang learned was precisely that darn 7 moves of the Devil Slayer clan. Back then, they had all learned them many years ago, and couldn't even learn half a move. What godly weapon do you want? Just say it directly. The Devil Slayer came to Chen Zhang's side and lovingly caressed Chen Zhang's head. A high-grade divine sword, then a mid-grade great scissor, a middle-grade spear or even a long spear. The superior grade divine sword was what Chen Shang wanted, the scissors and spear were from Tai Chang and Xiao Chou. The body of the sword was a bit rusty, and it looked a bit old. It didn't have that threatening aura either, as though it was an extremely ancient item. Master, this sword is too terrible. Yuan Bibing was a refiner. He immediately determined that this was not a good divine sword, although it is a superior grade divine weapon, it is too ancient and the divine spirit inside is too weak. Devil Slayer chuckled twice. Little soldier, which set of divine armor is the most stiff on you? Take it out and try it out. Quote. Yuan Bibing curled his lips and said, Master, you're so amazing, even using a tree branch can pierce through my divine armor, what more this thing? The Devil Slayer laughed, I let Chen Shang stab me, that should be fine, right? Don't you have confidence in your own divine armor? The divine sword in my hand is an old relic. If you're even afraid of this, then the divine armor that you're refining would be mediocre. Quote. Yuan Bibing was provoked, and shouted, "Who's afraid of who? Come." He took out a black, round shield and placed it on the ground. "This is the best mid-grade divine shield I have. Even if it's a superior grade divine weapon, if the person using it didn't have a brush, it would still be difficult to damage this shield." The Devil Slayer God gave the ancient sword to Chen Shang and said with a smile, "Just cut off the edge as long as he doesn't hate me." Seeing that the Devil Slayer God was so confident, Chen Shang was a little unsure. This ancient-looking sword, when used against this godly shield, could it really cut through iron like mud? The sword's hilt was a little cold. He slightly activated his divine power, wanting to pour the divine power into the divine sword, but it seemed to be blocked by something, so he was unable to pour it into the sword. Clang. "Don't use divine power. There's a threshold to using this sword," the Fiend God said. "Not just anyone can easily inject divine power into it. Even a few of them might not be able to do so." "I don't believe it." Wang Jinshi looked unconvinced. Ren Tianyang, the fifth brother and the 10th sister also thought that they could do it. The Devil Slayer patted Chen Zhang's shoulders, first cut off a bit of the edge of this divine shield, then let them try it out. "This group of brats are getting more and more arrogant, hee. Chen Shang held the divine sword, and lightly scraped at the side of the divine shield. Just this wave of the divine sword caused Yuan Bibing's eyeballs to almost pop out, making him completely confident that the divine shield was just like other people who shaved, and with a light stroke, got a layer off. Chen Shang was also stunned. He never thought that the sword would actually be so powerful. It must have a huge history. "Hee, you must be scared. Give this sword to little Shi. Let her try and see if she can inject her divine power into it." Yuan Bibing withdrew his divine shield in a daze. It seemed that he had a lot of questions to ask, but he held it back. Chen Shang handed the god sword over to Wang Jinshi, and Wang Jinshi immediately transferred her super profound god-level god power into it. After that, she frowned, and her body continued to release the god power. "I really can't." Wang Jinshi tried it for a moment, her beautiful face turning red. She handed the sword over to Yuan Bibing. After Yuan Bibing received it, he carefully observed it carefully. After all, it was able to easily cut off a layer of his divine shield's skin, so he naturally wanted to carefully look at it, but he couldn't really see anything, because this sword hid many important things inside, while the outside was very simple and concise, making it hard to see how it was made. "No way." Yuan Bibing shook his head. He too tried for a while. After that, Ren Tianyang, the fat fifth brother and the 10th brother tried it all, but no one was able to send their divine power in. "Master, I admit that this is a good sword, but you give it to Chen Shang, whether or not it will harm him, and I cannot channel divine power into the sword," Yuan Bibing said. Wang Jinshi also nodded. Her father was the god of swords. She had practiced the sword since she was young and many sword techniques required godly powers to coordinate with her. "Chen Shang, if you feel that it's not appropriate, I can help you change it again." The Devil Slayer looked at Chen Shang with a smile. Chen Shang received the ancient sword, and asked, "This sword should have some sort of history, what is its name?" Seems like Chen Shang had already decided to take it. This made Ren Tianyang and the others puzzled. Although the sword was powerful, it was not practical at all. Ren Tianyang said, "Chen Shang, although this sword is sharp, when fighting with others, other people would have divine power to protect themselves. This sword has no divine power to support it. It is difficult to break through other people's divine power defense. It is not useful." "Yeah, but I really like this sword. Although I can't channel divine power into it right now, I might be able to step over this threshold by refining it every day." When Chen Shang received the sword, he already liked it a lot. "This sword doesn't have a name. I picked it up from a place in the past." "So it's like that," Yuan Bibing said. "Is that place called Super God Restricted Area?" "Right, that place has many of these things. When you become Empyrean gods in the future, it would be best for you to go there and gain some experience." Devil-slaying God sat down and said with a long sigh, "Super God Restricted Area isn't that dangerous for an Empyrean god. As long as one's luck isn't too bad, one can survive after entering. In the future, when you become Empyrean gods, your first trial will be to the Super God Restricted Area." When Chen Shang saw that Wang Jinshi and the rest did not say a word with a serious face, he knew that Super God Restricted Area was a damned place. Chapter 1796. I'll have the scissor and spear sent over in a few days. Devil-killing heavenly god said, "Go back and prepare first. In another 2 days, I will bring you all to all divine palaces. At that time, you must spar with those fellows from the other divine halls. You must win. The devil-killing heavenly god laughed sinisterly in the end, causing Ren Tianyang and the others to shudder. Am I going too? Chen Shang asked. At that time, you will let the other divine halls know that you, Chen Shang, have already joined my devil-killing divine palace. Whoever dares to have any ideas about you, you will have a falling out with him on the spot. The devil-killing heavenly god snorted coldly. Ren Tianyang asked, Master, when the time comes, we will first understand what we need to compete for. The last time all divine palaces sat together for our disciples to compete, you all didn't seem to be born yet. So many years passed in the blink of an eye. There are a total of 3 stages to the competition: God of Heaven, Profound God, True God, Profound God, which are all of you. God, you do not have to worry about it. Chen Shang will handle the competition of True God. When that time comes, you can call upon Titan's descendant and the brat called Tai Chang. Yuan Bibing said. Chen Shang is already a true god, why can't I tell? Wang Jinshi and Ren Tianyang also thought that it was strange. They remembered that when Chen Shang first joined the devil-killing divine palace, he should have been a semi-god. Yes, I just broke through before I attacked the Devil Yang Valley. Chen Shang nodded. All of you should go back and prepare well. You can't lose even one match. The devil-killing divine palace looked at Chen Shang and the others with sinister eyes, as if telling them that if they lost, the consequences would be severe. After Chen Shang returned home, talking to Xiao Chou about this matter, Xiao Chou was so excited that he tumbled a few times. That's great, to be able to fight against the people from the other halls. At that time I will definitely unleash my strongest ability, letting them experience the power of my devil-killing divine palace. As Xiao Chou got excited, he drank tens of thousands of beers in succession, but was still unable to suppress the joy in his heart. Chen Shang laughed and asked Tai Chang, Old Tai, what about you, are you ready? Although Tai Chang was not an extremely talented person, he had muddled along for many years and was still alive. He was currently in the upper true god and had a lot of experience, so he was very calm. Since the main heavenly god has such great confidence in me, I naturally will not disappoint him. The 3 of them drank until midnight before returning to their respective rooms to rest. Chen Shang sat on the bed, took out the ancient sword, and gently caressed the sword's body. He said in his heart, since you and I are fated to meet, and I have chosen the sword as my weapon, and this is also related to the god-murdering sword techniques, then I shall name you the god-slaughtering sword. After saying that, he dripped his blood on the surface of the sword and established a connection with it. As long as he could use this sword frequently in the future, the sword would have the feeling of being connected by blood, allowing him to become more proficient at using it. Chen Shang did not dare to stay here to cultivate the 7 devil-slain Kung Fu, because he had already destroyed Tai Chang's house last time. He planned to go to the devil-killing divine palace's training room to cultivate. For the sake of the all divine palaces' competition, he planned to familiarize himself with it during these 10 days. If possible, he also planned to comprehend the 3rd form to prevent unexpected situations. At dawn, Xiao Chou and Tai Chang did not even bother to greet each other and directly went to devil-killing divine palace's training room. Chen Shang went there a bit late because the good training rooms were all full, with the rest being very small. Senior sister, it's better if you stay here. It's quite quiet. Chen Shang arrived at the floor Wang Jinshi was on, where she had a spacious and comfortable training room. From now on, you can just come in directly. I don't really cultivate here anymore, I'm just going to a higher place. Master has prepared a training room specifically for us. Wang Jinshi patted Chen Zhang's face, senior sister has left. We'll meet again in 10 days, work hard. 10 days was still a little short for Chen Shang, he could only do the 2 changes in quantity now. If he felt that there was still time to comprehend, he would try to comprehend the 3rd change. In the blink of an eye, 8 days had passed and Chen Shang had never left Wang Jinshi's training room before. There are still 2 days. Let's try and see if I can comprehend the 3rd change. Chen Shang felt that the 7 changes to the first style should all be related. Among the 7 transformations, I have already grasped the changes in strength and time. With the combination of the 2, I can carry out the attack of time. Then, the 3rd change should be related to this, and it can be done with the strength of the body at that. Chen Shang started to ponder. After thinking for a day, Chen Shang suddenly opened his eyes. The combination of time and strength can produce different kinds of force. If it is flexible, then it can be considered two different types of power, and it can be mainly used for defense. After Chen Shang thought about it, he began to try combining the chants of the heavenly alchemy and the seven devil-slain Kung Fu, circulating his physical body's energy, controlling his energy to undergo a firm and gentle change. Flexibility can produce rebound or cushion power, while toughness can resist piercing attacks. Hardening and softening can coordinate changes, which requires strength to work together, and if you add in time changes, the effects will definitely be extraordinary. The original 7 changes can all be fused together. Chen Shang channeled his mental cultivation method, and he could already feel that his muscles and bones had become extremely stiff under the coordination of his own strength. Among the 7 transformations that I changed, the basic change should be the change in strength. There should be 2 kinds of changes in time, the quick and slow transformations, and then the hard and soft transformations. That means there are only 2 left in the 7 transformations. Chen Shang was ecstatic. He then activated his mental cultivation method that had turned gentle. One of his arms drooped down, and with his other hand, he pulled at it. He should be able to use the first form of the 7 devil-slain Kung Fu to talk about the use of the basic strength of the body. No wonder it's so hard to cultivate it. It's fortunate that I have the heavenly alchemy and the philosophic stone, otherwise I would not have been able to start training so easily. Quote, Devil-killing heavenly god didn't tell Chen Shang which 7 transformations he had comprehended, because if he had comprehended them himself, he would have a clear direction of cultivation. If he had to tell Chen Shang directly, it would instead have a bad effect. That year, devil-killing heavenly god guided Ren Tianyang and the others in this way too. After they were unable to comprehend it later on, devil-killing heavenly god told them the main points of the 7 changes. When Chen Shang walked out of the training room, he saw Wang Jinshi sitting on a rocking chair, looking up at the decorations on the ceiling. Senior sister, what are you daydreaming for? Chen Shang laughed. You look so depressed, are you afraid of losing the competition? Master told us that if anyone loses, then that person would have to run through all the streets and alleys in devil-killing Divine City. Not only that, it's a slow jog. Chen Zhang's brows twitched. This kind of punishment was indeed very frightening. As long as we don't lose, that's fine. Chen Shang laughed. Senior sister is so powerful, to be able to obtain the smoke sword, you will definitely not lose. Of course, senior, I will definitely not lose. I'm just worried about you. Wang Jinshi began to giggle, but thinking of how you called yourself an idiot, I feel really good about it. Chapter 1797, Chen Shang said snappily. Senior sister, I thought you were unhappy and wanted to comfort you. But now you're actually laughing at me. Wang Jinshi laughed tenderly. My mood is much better now. To be honest, if I am able to go to all divine palaces with Master tomorrow, I think I would be very excited. Chen Shang nodded his head. He was the same way. Going to the all divine palaces to spar with the other experts in the shrine, and to meet the other war gods, what was more important was that the devil-killing heavenly god was bringing a large amount of killing intent, because he wanted to declare war on the Hell Divine Palace at that time. Xiaoqiu and Tai Chang had already gotten their favorite middle-grade divine weapon. They were very grateful to Chen Shang. They originally thought they would need the strength of the profound god to obtain it. How are you preparing? We're leaving tomorrow. Chen Shang chuckled. You are in my group, so don't drag me down when the time comes. Xiaoqiu smiled indifferently. I'm actually worried that you will drag us down with you, master. Chen Shang slapped Xiaoqiu's head, and scolded him. You can't get rid of your arrogant problem, you already have some strength, and you dare underestimate me, master. Tai Chang chuckled. Brother Shen, there is no need to doubt your strength, if not, you would not have been able to obtain so many black crystals. If you can get these divine weapons for us, we are already prepared and look forward to the competition in all divine palaces. Xiaoqiu and Tai Chang were both very confident. Chen Shang nodded. Then let's have a good rest and recuperate. Maybe tomorrow will be the day of the competition when we get to all divine palaces. And the others were all looking forward to the competition that would take place between the disciples that were going to all divine palaces and the other halls. The next morning, Chen Shang and the others rushed to devil-killing divine palace early. Ren Tianyang and the other 5 war gods were already here. They had been living in devil-killing divine palace since the beginning. Seeing that Chen Shang, Xiaoqiu and Tai Chang were all energetic, their eyes filled with a confident light, the devil-killing heavenly god nodded in satisfaction. When the time comes, some old fellows will suggest the rules of the competition. Of course, there will be battles only, and that competition is very dangerous, it might even cost you your life. At that time, just don't try to be brave and show off. Devil-killing heavenly god warned with a serious expression. Chen Shang and the others nodded. Let's go. Devil-killing heavenly god took out an array disc for everyone to stand on. After that, he opened it and arrived at a plaza filled with transmission arrays of all sizes. This is the Divine City, the largest city in the God's realm. If you came in yourselves, you would have to pay a huge sum of money. The devil-killing heavenly god said to Chen Shang and the others. Only gods who have the qualification to become a martial immortal can freely enter and exit this great divine city. Tai Chang nodded his head. Looks like we have to take advantage of this for a few days. The devil-killing heavenly god laughed. If you win, then just go and play. Everyone already knew the punishment for losing the competition, but devil-killing heavenly god suddenly changed his punishment, laughing sinisterly. If one of you guys loses, then all of you will receive your punishments. Everyone's heart jumped. They focused on Chen Shang, Xiaoqiu and the rest. Little brats, don't drag us down. Yuan Baibing was a little worried. He looked at the fatty and said, Fatty ol, 5, is your bald disciple good? He looks a little weak. The fat fifth brother laughed. My disciple isn't that great. If you don't want him to lose the competition, you should give him some good equipment, even if you want to lend it to him for a period of time. Ren Tianyang laughed. OL, 2, don't be stingy now, that kind of punishment is no joke. After running around the city, you still call yourself an idiot. Amongst the group of people, only Chen Shang was relatively calm. That kind of punishment is nothing to me, I'm not famous anyway. Chen Shang and the other two little brats were not famous, but the 5 war gods were. No matter how thick-skinned they were, they wouldn't be able to stand it anymore and be made a joke by others in the future. The all-divine palaces was very grand. There were hundreds of gigantic towers standing in the middle of the gigantic divine city. All of these towers were constructed by the various shrines here. All of them had representatives stationed here. All of them had businesses with the various shrines in the divine city. This is the shrine our devil-killing divine palace built in the divine city. Why is it that it is so low compared to other people's shrine? Xiaoqiu compared the other giant towers with his own, and said with a bit of disappointment. What's the point of being so tall? Others are so tall, but we are short as well, so many people would place their attention on us, the ones they love the most, when they come here. This will attract attention. Devil-killing heavenly god spoke in a righteous tone. You brats are too inexperienced, you don't even know how to recruit disciples. After entering the shrine, everyone greeted the hall master and went to the tallest and largest tower in the middle, which was the all-divine palaces. These shrines were built so tall, they should be empty, right? Chen Shang looked around at the giant towers that towered into the clouds and felt that there were not many people in these towers. That's not it. For example, the all-divine palaces in the middle has many strange things, and the competition will also be held inside. The devil-killing heavenly god curled his lips and said, back then, when we constructed this all-divine palaces, our various divine halls used up a lot of energy. It was not as simple as just a shell. Chen Shang had some understanding of the uses of the all-divine palaces, but he didn't understand why they would put in so much effort to build such a shrine. From the 1st level to the 18th level, every level contains all kinds of dangers. Furthermore, every level is equivalent to a dangerous place, which is very magical, and the war god trial is also inside. If you pass through the 18 levels, then you are a qualified god of heaven, and you can create your own divine hall. Ren Tianyang explained the use of the all-divine palaces. Forget about war gods, even the profound god was a very distant matter to Chen Shang. This all-divine palaces should be the god of fortune's territory. Most of the businesses here are his. This guy specifically created godly money. All day long he used it to buy many precious things, so he's very strong, and his 4 disciples are also very powerful. Yuan Baibing's face was filled with jealousy. They had risked their lives to earn some divine money, but the god of fortune and his disciples were all made directly. Chen Shang had stayed in the divine prison before, so he knew how the god's money worked. Besides being able to buy things, the god's money could also be used to refine treasures, which could increase speed and quality. Ren Tianyang and the others followed the devil-killing heavenly god into the all-divine palaces, arriving at a very large venue. This should be a gigantic beast battle arena, where there was a bright and beautiful sunlight, making it hard to imagine if this was the all-divine palaces' place. A lot of people were already seated on the round and huge beast battle arena, and many of the spectators were split into different regions. Devil-killing heavenly god led Chen Shang and the others to the region that was designated by the devil-killing divine palace. The devil-killing divine palace is here, and there are so few of them. Hey, haven't those divine gods' disciples come? Only Ren Tianyang and the rest. Don't tell me they don't plan to compete anymore. We still haven't started yet. Perhaps we'll be there in a bit. I wonder if the first batch or the second batch will come. Although the second batch is also very powerful, the first batch is quite mysterious. Devil-killing divine palace suffered a big loss at Devil Yang Valley. Out of the 10 war gods that Ren Tianyang and the others had, there are only 5 left. The number of squads has also decreased by half. Devil-killing heavenly god can still sit, or is he afraid of Hell Devil Emperor? Quote. Seeing that the devil-killing heavenly god had arrived, the disciples of the other shrines started to discuss among themselves. There were a total of 300 people in the sacred palace. If all of them were to come, this place would also be very lively because there would be 100 or so people in the sacred palace. Chen Shang had also heard that the devil-killing divine palace had the least number of people in the 300 temples, and was also the poorest one. Old senior brother, are they not here yet? Yuan Bibing asked in a low voice. Master, the 4 disciples of the God of Fortune are all very strong. If they don't come, then even if we win it would be useless. Devil-killing heavenly god smiled slightly. Calm down, of course they will come, you don't have to worry. At that time, all of you have to work hard. If you lose, the punishment for your juniors will be even heavier. If you were to be hated by those fellows, you will definitely be abused by them in the future. The expressions of Ren Tianyang and the others changed. Master, you're too vicious. To be hated by our old fellow disciples is quite tragic. The Fat Five could not laugh anymore. He looked at Xiao Chou. Chief Guang, no matter what the competition is, you cannot lose. Chen Shang asked. Main heavenly god, did any of the old senior brothers learn 7 devil-slain Kung Fu? When he asked, Ren Tianyang and the other war gods became curious. Devil-killing heavenly god sighed helplessly. If you can't learn it, then I will regret it my entire life until now. Other than me, no one else can use the 7 devil-slain Kung Fu 1.5 moves. It's all up to you now. Tai Cheng and Xiao Chou both knew that Chen Shang had the 7 devil-slain Kung Fu, but Chen Shang had instructed them not to say it. Even they won't be able to learn it. Master, passing the 7 devil-slain Kung Fu to this brat is really too much. The fat 5th brother looked at Chen Shang with sympathy. The devil-killing heavenly god snorted, you have studied for thousands or even tens of thousands of years. Even though you have yet to learn it, in the end, all of your studies in the devil-killing magic Kung Fu and cultivation were not smooth sailing. What do you know? At this time, Wang Jinshi called out softly, the god of fortune is here, there's also his 4 disciples and 4 god of wealth. Everyone immediately looked over, and Chen Shang saw Yang Yan and his father following behind brilliant god. Currently, the god of fortune was the overlord of the god's realm. He held a large amount of wealth, had great strength, and was rumored to be powerful. It was said that any one of the god of fortune's 4 disciples could shake up a few mid-sized deities Templar. Chapter 1798. What surprised Chen Shang was that the god of fortune was actually a young man. He looked so young, and if not for the fact that there were 4 gods behind him whose might were oppressing him, Chen Shang would not have believed it at all. As soon as the god of fortune entered, he looked towards devil-killing heavenly god and smiled faintly. Devil Slayer, I heard that you have some important announcement today, otherwise, I wouldn't bother to come here. To be honest, this competition is definitely won by our Wealth Divine Palace. His words were not arrogant at all. Their Wealth Divine Palace was extremely rich, and just by using high-grade divine tools, he was able to cause others to lose their temper. Brat, 100 billion, do you dare to bet? Devil-killing heavenly god sneered. Although the god of fortune looked like a teenager, his Wealth Divine Palace had already been in the god's realm for many years, and was one of the ancient shrines. The reason the devil-killing heavenly god called him a little kid was not because he looked young, but because the devil-killing heavenly god was an antique in the first place. Okay, but, I can take out 100 billion god's coins, that is something that there is no need to question, but for you the god of fortune chuckled and shook his head. Back then, I remember that the fire god also made a bet with me. If his father didn't step in, he would have lost Fire Divine Palace to me already. There was actually such a thing, which caused the disciples of the Fire Divine Palace to immediately feel that they could not lift their heads. It's been so many years, and we haven't gotten together yet. After all these years, everyone must have accumulated quite a bit of divine money. How about we gamble for a few rounds right now? The god of fortune's soft and tender voice drifted to every corner of the hall, causing everyone to start discussing amongst themselves. As long as one was a normal person, he or she would not gamble with the god of fortune. Devil-killing heavenly god took out a fiery red bead that was as big as a head. He raised it high up and said, "How about I use this as a collateral?" "All right." The god of fortune's eyes immediately lit up. He smiled in delight and said, "I really didn't come here for nothing today. I'm taking this divine flame pill for sure." Chen Shang looked at the fire pellet, and only felt a formless wave of heat attacking his divine sense. If not for devil-killing heavenly god putting it away, he felt that he would have been burned. Not long after devil-killing heavenly god had raised the supreme flame pellet, the bodies of many people started to blaze. If not for the fact that their gods had hastily extinguished the flames, they would probably have been burned to death. "What a powerful item," Chen Shang exclaimed in his heart. Tai Chang said as his brows knitted together, "This is a flame essence pill condensed from the primordial flame formed by the primordial spirit that cultivates fire. This is a very precious thing." "What is the supreme god?" Chen Shang asked in a low voice. "Above the god of heaven is the supreme god. With this supreme god flaming pill, one might be able to become a supreme god. This is something that even God's money can't buy, otherwise, the god of fortune would already be a supreme god," Tai Chang said. Then, a group of people dressed in black walked in. The god of fortune immediately looked over, and judging from the evil chi on their bodies, they were clearly from the Hell Divine Palace. HMPH. Devil-killing heavenly god suppressed the anger in his heart and snorted coldly, no longer looking at the group of people in black robes and black hoods. The Hell Devil Emperor was inside, and Chen Shang could clearly feel that aura. The meeting began at noon, and all would have to wait a while. "The divine female palace is here," Xiao Chou whispered into Chen Zhang's ear. After Wang Jinshi heard it, he snorted lightly, "You little brats, you can go for those goddesses of the divine female palace. The consequences will be severe." Chen Shang looked at the group of women dressed in light gold dresses. He did not find anyone familiar from inside, and even though those goddesses were beautiful, Chen Shang was not interested in them. Divine female palace attracted the eyes of many men, but Chen Shang sighed lightly and stopped looking at it. There are still a few other shrines that haven't arrived yet. They are all brats that can't afford to lose face. A thunderous voice suddenly rang out, startling everyone. Everyone immediately quieted down as they looked at the vast arena below. There stood a large man with a dignified face, dressed in black armor, holding a large saber in his hand. "I am Penalty Heavenly God, and am in charge of supervising the competition." Penalty Heavenly God suddenly looked towards Devil-killing Divine Palace and used a rough voice to ask, "Devil-killing Heavenly God, you say you have something to announce, but what exactly is it?" "I want to declare war on Hell Divine Palace. Hell Devil Emperor will let the evil god return to God's realm, and will cause my 5 beloved disciples and hundreds of Divine Hall disciples to all die." Devil-killing heavenly god roared in anger. The divine power on his body was released, scaring many of the younger generation so much that their faces turned pale. Everyone had heard of this matter, but no one knew that it was done by the evil god. No wonder the devil-killing divine palace suffered such heavy losses. Penalty Heavenly God, the reason Hell Devil Emperor let the evil god escape is obviously to harm God's realm. "Shouldn't you do something?" an Empyrean god of the Radiant Temple said. A familiar voice of Chen Shang sounded. It was the voice of the Hell Devil Emperor. "The evil god caused a huge commotion in hell, I could not suppress him, and allowed him to run out. This is my fault. I am willing to accept punishment, but I will not accept Devil-killing Divine Palace's declaration of war." Hell Devil Emperor's voice was very calm, but it carried a very uncomfortable sinister feeling. Devil-killing heavenly god had already expected that Hell Devil Emperor would not fight him directly. "Then I will continue to declare war." Devil-killing heavenly god glared at Hell Devil Emperor angrily, then said loudly, "Chen Shang has already joined the devil-killing divine palace, whoever dares to have any plans against him, if I knew, I would immediately destroy the divine hall he is in. This is in accordance with all divine palaces' rules." Chen Shang, who possessed the heavenly alchemy, had already arrived at the god's realm and even joined the devil-killing divine palace. No wonder the Hell Devil Emperor would retaliate, in order to release the evil god. Chen Shang had caused great losses for the Hell Devil Emperor, even the god of fortune had been scammed, but now that the devil-killing heavenly god had said it this way, the people from the other halls did not dare do anything. "Alright, since there's nothing much to announce, let's begin the competition for this year's conference." This is also the rule set by the construction of the all-divine palaces back then. It's a competition that occurs once every million years. Penalty Heavenly God didn't seem to care about this at all, and he had already seen too much. Chen Shang had already sensed a few waves of energy approaching him, but were all blocked by the devil-killing Heavenly God. Is that an ice dragon? Chen Shang looked at a tall and slim man standing beside the God of Fortune. His expression was wooden, as if he was a servant. This bastard! Chen Shang glared at the God of Fortune. Back then, the ice dragon was forced to become a slave by the God of Fortune. Just as Penalty Heavenly God was about to announce the start of the battle, Chen Shang suddenly felt a light breeze blow past. There were 4 very young men and 2 women. They were all handsome and looked like 2 couples. Father, Master. The 2 men called out, Father, while the 2 women called out, Master. At this moment, everyone was waiting for Penalty Heavenly God to announce the rules, but Penalty Heavenly God didn't. 4 young men suddenly appeared beside devil-killing Heavenly God. It was obvious that even Penalty Heavenly God did not notice their arrival, causing a commotion. You 2 girls have been married for so long, but you still can't change your mind. Devil-killing Heavenly God laughed. It's good that you guys are here. There were not 10 of them, only 4. Among them, 2 were the sons of the devil-killing Heavenly God and the other 2 were the wives of his sons. However, they were also disciples of the devil-killing Heavenly God. Devil-killing Heavenly God actually had a son. Forget about the juniors, only now did the divine gods know that the other divine gods didn't understand these 4 youths at all. However, they knew that they were very strong. Chapter 1799. Legends said that the first batch of disciples in devil-killing Heavenly God had 10, and now only 10. As for whether there were any other disciples, maybe only the devil-killing Heavenly God knew. You are the old senior brothers. Ren Tianyang immediately stood up and bowed to the old seniors. Ren Tianyang, actually, you have seen me many times, it's just that you did not recognize me. A short-haired man smiled. His smile was a bit stiff. It seemed that he didn't like to smile, and he gave people a strange feeling. First of all, he didn't have any aura on him, giving people a very blurred feeling. Devil-killing Heavenly God said, These 2 are my sons, the one with short hair is the eldest son and the one with long hair is the second son. After the 4 disciples introduced themselves, Chen Shang and the others only knew their names, and did not understand them at all. The eldest son of the devil-killing Heavenly God was called Zhu Chao and the second son was called Zhu Ming. Their wives were also disciples of the devil-killing Heavenly God, and they grew up together, so they seemed to have some background. Otherwise, they wouldn't be the first batch of disciples in the devil-killing Heavenly God. Zhu Ming's wife called herself Old Third, named Liang Yunling. She was pretty, but gave off a gentle feeling, just that she did not like to talk. Right now, Ren Tianyang and the others were certain that the first batch of disciples in devil-killing Heavenly God only had 4 people, and that was these 2 couples in front of them. The purpose of the competition is not to let our beloved disciples fight, but to improve and to find their own inadequacies in the competition. This is because there are very few opportunities and the rules set by the all-divine palaces are extremely binding, so it is impossible for everyone to understand their own strength. Penalty Heavenly God did not immediately announce the rules. Instead, he first told everyone that during the competition, it was better to end it there and then. However, judging from the postures of the various divine halls, they would definitely not act in such a manner. They glared at each other with murderous intent, as if they were ready to fight to the death at any moment. After the all-divine palaces was established, even if the various halls had conflicts with each other, they wouldn't be able to settle them by using extreme methods because they would have to pay a huge price. For example, to declare war, they would normally have to declare war 3 times consecutively, and each time, they would need a lot of divine money, and they might not even be able to beat the other. If a war were to break out in private, there would be many shrines that would attack them. Therefore, all the grudges that they had accumulated over the years would be settled through their own outstanding disciples of the Radiant Temple. All the Empyrean gods felt that this was their true goal. Master, you guys should have already competed once before. At that time, haven't the senior apprentice brothers participated yet? Ren Tianyang asked. No, at that time, they were in the second batch, so for the sake of the final victory, I had no choice but to send them out. Last time, although our devil-killing divine palace's rankings were not very bad, I felt very uncomfortable. The devil-killing Heavenly God said. This first batch of disciples was actually making an appearance publicly for the first time, making Chen Shang even more confident that they would win. Right now, I am not worried about them, but you little brats. Bring out your strongest strengths and you must win, otherwise, my supreme flame pill will be given to the god of fortune. When that time comes, I will definitely punish you twice as harshly. Devil-killing heavenly god threatened. Xiao Chou muttered. Do we really look that weak? The Fat Five touched Xiao Chou's bald head and laughed. We look very weak, that's a good thing, haha. Penalty Heavenly God did not announce the rules, but had his men take out a giant monument, and placed it in the middle of the wide fighting arena below. The giant monument lit up with red light, revealing the name of the shrine. If you win, then it's a point. After all the matches are over, the one with the highest score will also be the first. Only the first will be rewarded. The Penalty Heavenly God said. This rule was only known to the old gods. Although Ren Tianyang and the others were very old, they were still too young for the history of the God's Realm's Divine Hall. The content of the competition is very comprehensive. There are pills, duels, weapons, formations, these four main themes. Pills are pills, a battle for equipment forging, a battle for formations, a battle for formations. And the others thought that it was just a simple duel. This is a test for individuals, and there is even a group battle for the overall aspect. This is also a test with many points. After the individual competition is over, I will announce it again. Devil-killing heavenly god frowned and whispered, there are so many tricks, looks like it is not beneficial for us. Yuan Baibing said, Master, I'm good at refining, but I'm concocting pills. Ren Tianyang and the others immediately looked towards Zhu Chao and the others, only to see them shaking their heads. Master, I only know how to refine divine pills. I don't know if that's possible. Yao Shuang said. This will depend on the rules. If not, then let's not participate in the pill refining competition. It's fine to lose a single point. Devil-killing heavenly god nodded. I know how to concoct pills as well. Currently, I can only concoct low-grade saint pills. If the conditions allow, I would like to try my luck as well. If it was just a competition to refine a low-grade saint pill, he was confident that he would win. Chen Shang and the others did not know about the matter of refining the holy pellet. Chen Shang was only a lower true god, but to have such a level of cultivation was already considered not bad. Yao Shuang was a god. Although she didn't focus on pill concocting, she knew that it wasn't easy to concoct a sacred pill. The Penalty Heavenly God continued to announce the rules, and said, the first round of the competition is to refine pills. Each shrine only allows the dispatch of 5 alchemists. Our devil-killing divine palace's good alchemists are all hiding away, we won't be able to find them even after a while. Are we really going to waste this opportunity to score points? Devil-killing Heavenly God sighed with regret. How do you get first place? Do you want to refine some divine pills? An Empyrean god asked loudly. There weren't many divine pill refiners, and none of them were restricted by the shrine. They were usually very adept at contacting the divine pill refiners, but it was impossible for them to compete with the divine pill refiners. Just concocting a holy pellet would be fine, it would be fine even if it is a low, medium, or high-quality pellet. Now, all alchemists of the various halls are invited to enter. The Penalty Heavenly God replied. Devil-killing Heavenly God looked at Chen Shang and Yao Shuang and said, you guys go ahead. Refining pills is not your specialty after all. With devil-killing Heavenly God's words, Chen Shang and the others were at ease. From the expressions of Zhu Chao and the others, they could tell that they too were afraid of being punished by the devil-killing Heavenly God. Chapter 1800. When Chen Shang walked down, he revealed his appearance. This was because Hell Devil Emperor and God of Fortune had long seen through his identity, so there was no need for him to hide anything. This brat is Chen Shang. Even the God of Fortune had lost a lot of money to him. To be able to master the heavenly alchemy, I wonder how good his alchemy skills are. Isn't heavenly alchemy mainly used for battles? It might not be able to be used to refine pills, he should be a true god now, he is not strong enough. Yao Shuang was also shocked. She did not know that the brat who had entered the arena with her was Chen Shang, who had a deep grudge with the Hell Devil Emperor. I've heard a lot about you. Yao Shuang smiled at Chen Shang. This is not a good name. Chen Shang laughed helplessly. The most eye-catching person on the other hand was the old man who walked out from the Wealth Divine Palace area. The white-haired old man was calm and collected as he slowly walked into the arena. However, this old man from the Wealth Divine Palace was a famous Dan Saint title, which meant that he was able to refine Shengbin Holy Dan, the Heavenly Mystery Realm's Pill Saint. He is truly powerful, to be able to make such a Dan Saint title follow him at any time. Look, the Divine Female Palace is also a Dan Saint title. If I'm not wrong, then this should be a Rosy Clouds Dan Saint. It's so beautiful, she's a powerful god herself, and she even knows how to refine divine pills. Only the Fire Divine Palace is impressive, sending out 2 Dan Saint titles, and they are also famous Gemini Pill Saints. The Pill Saints in Fire Divine Palace were a pair of twins. The middle-aged man's appearance put a lot of pressure on them, because right now, they were facing 2 very powerful Pill Saints. Chen Shang looked at the Rosy Clouds Dan Saint in the Divine Female Palace. It was one of the most popular Rosy Clouds Dan Saint in the Dan Saint title, because she was a very beautiful woman. 4 Dan Saint titles have already appeared. This should be a contest between Dan Saint titles. What's the matter with the other alchemist? That's right, previously, when Devil-Killing Divine Palace was filled with confidence, he could only send some brats to keep up the show. Look at that man in black, he's from Hell Divine Palace. I heard that he's a weird pill saint who uses corpses to concoct pills. That's right, this is the Dan Saint title of the Hell Divine Palace. I have heard of him before, I think his name is the Hell Pill Saint or something. Dan Saint title were existences very close to the god of pills, and were the treasure of many shrines. I will now announce the rules for the victory. It's good that you all are careful. Penalty Heavenly God suddenly shouted, causing the ground to tremble. Every alchemist chose to refine a kind of holy elixir, one of the lower, middle, or high quality. They have 10 sets of medicinal ingredients, and if they can refine a holy elixir that has the holy elixir's light, they will obtain first place. This was the first time Chen Shang had heard of such a thing. Excuse me, what is the holy elixir spiritual light? Chen Shang asked, only to hear the many alchemists around mocking him, and looking at him with contempt. You don't even know about the sacred pills, yet you still dare to compete. That's right, even though he hasn't reached this level, he still dares to call himself a pill saint. Penalty Heavenly God's face darkened as he stared at the mocking alchemist, then explained, the holy elixir's spiritual light is the holy elixir you refined, there is a layer of spiritual light surrounding it, this kind of light is equivalent to the holy elixir's soul, it can grant the holy elixir a higher quality, a holy elixir with spiritual light, it is 10 times higher quality than the holy elixir with high quality spiritual light. Chen Shang never thought that there would actually be a holy pellet in this form. He had never refined one before, so he was not confident that he could refine one now. In order to refine a holy elixir with the spiritual light, it is usually done in the process of condensing the elixir. For example, the pill that is about to condense into many pills will be fused together by force. The one who spoke was Divine Female Palace's Rosy Clouds Dan Saint. Chen Shang nodded and sent a grateful look over. Right now, there was no one teaching him all this, so he only knew a little. Even if you knew how to refine it, it's already too late. It's not just a day or two for you to learn how to refine a holy pellet with spiritual light. Even I, who have a pretty good inherent skill, have learned it for almost 1,000 years. One of the 2 pill masters said. There were more than 800 alchemists and all of them were alchemists who could refine holy pellets. There were 300 shrines and each shrine could send 5 alchemists in, but there were a few shrines that sent fewer alchemists, so there weren't as many as expected. Chen Shang received 10 batches of Dragon Blood Saint Dan's medicinal ingredients from an elder in charge of distributing medicinal ingredients. After that, he casually found a seat and took out a pill furnace to sit down. When all the alchemists were ready, the Penalty Heavenly God announced loudly that the competition had begun. Second brother, it's all your fault. He refused to give him a good pill furnace. Look, the worst pill furnace on the stage is the one he bought for $5. Wang Jinshi scoffed. If he didn't say so earlier, I could have given him a medium-grade divine furnace. Yuan Baibing spread his hands. Devil-Killing Heavenly God swept his eyes across the other alchemists' pill furnaces, shook his head and sighed, indeed, his pill furnace is the worst off. Main Heavenly God, you don't have to worry about him. He has never relied on pill furnaces for his pills. Xiao Chou was very confident in Chen Zhang's pill refining skills, he had witnessed it many times. Because the pill furnace was weak, Chen Shang had to be ridiculed by the other alchemist. The appearance of this pill furnace has affected my mood. As a pill saint, I don't even have a decent pill furnace. I wonder if this kid will be able to concoct such a pill. Even my grandson used mud to knead the pill furnace better than him, haha. Chen Shang turned a deaf ear to this. He knew that with his own strength, he did not rely on the pill furnace was only used as support. Just now, when he noticed that the penalty heavenly god said that he was going to refine a holy elixir, the famous Dan Saint title all frowned. It could be seen that refining a holy elixir with a holy elixir wasn't easy either. Penalty heavenly god had also said that the time limit was 10 days. For outstanding pill saints, refining high-quality holy pellets required a longer period of time. Even 10 days was barely enough, let alone refining difficult Lingguang Dan S. Chen Shang had placed a set of blood ginseng S into the furnace from the start, releasing flames and igniting them. When many alchemists heard about it, they all started to laugh softly. It was only then that Chen Shang realized that all the alchemists had 5 portions at once. Furthermore, before they refined it, they would take out a jade plate and simple process of refining the medicinal ingredients outside, such as mashing them, wrapping them up with their divine power, and fusing the 5 portions into one. Refining a holy elixir with spiritual light requires at least 5 batches, and in total there are only 10 batches of medicinal herbs. In other words, if he failed the first time, there will be a second time. But as for this kid, he wouldn't be able to succeed even if he gave 100 batches. Yao Shuang was getting a little anxious and whispered to Chen Shang, "Where did you learn pill refining?" "I must have taught myself." Chen Shang answered honestly. Almost all of the pills at the end of the refining process were fished out by him. Yao Shuang was speechless. "Work hard. Don't give yourself too much pressure. I'm still holding on." At this time, in the eyes of many alchemists, Chen Shang was just like a little kid who had just started learning pill refining. He did not know anything, messed around and wasted his medicinal ingredients. "Isn't it just the Lingguang Dan S? Back then, I had refined a pill that had a medicinal glow, and it should be around the same. It should be the sacred pill from the peak quality. It's just that the sacred pill is different from the other pills." Chen Shang was still more relaxed. He did not feel flustered just because he did not know how to refine. To him, this was a very good chance to level up. "I'll try refining the Lingguang Dan now." Chen Shang had refined 3 Dragon Blood Saint Dan in a single furnace, but many pill saints had limit of 2. The number of Dragon Blood Saint Dan that came out was very few, so Chen Shang had to choose, because only pills with a lot of pills would be able to condense spirit light easily. Without any external interference, Chen Shang refined the pill very quickly, using Tai Chi. He was now a true god, and the true divine energy he used was much stronger than the ones before. This Taiji refinement was also much stronger than before. For example, in the past when he used Tai Chi to refine pills, people would still be able to see the changes inside, but now when he tried to refine pills, the situation inside the furnace would always be very stable. There would be no movements, and it would be hard to feel. When concocting pills, a lot of god power was used up, all of it was for the fire. And after the flames fused with the medicine aura, it would evaporate a lot of the medicine aura along with the heat emitted from the furnace. But now, Chen Shang had completely overcome this, so his pill furnace was extremely cold, without a trace of heat, as though he had not done anything after throwing the ingredients inside. With regards to the pill furnace's internal control, he could be said to have reached the acme of perfection. Even the Dan Saint title would find it difficult to compare to him, but they still thought that Chen Shang had not started to burn the furnace to refine pills. He started concocting pills. Devil-killing heavenly god looked doubtful, "But I can't sense any trace of flame chi at all. What is this brat doing? My master has already entered the best condition for refining pills, just wait for him to surprise all of you." When Xiao Chou saw Chen Zhang's current expression, he knew that Chen Shang was extremely serious. Zhu Chao frowned. "This is impossible, I specifically train in fire. Furthermore, I have also integrated with fire rule spiritual bead, I can sense the flames inside every single pill furnace below, only Chen Zhang's flames did not appear. If he's really concocting pills and I can't sense his flames, this only means that the flames he's using have broken through the normal laws of fire and are different from normal flames." Yuan Bibing was a refiner, and was primarily made out of flames, but he had never heard of such a thing. "Senior brother, what is abnormal flame?" Yuan Bibing asked humbly. While abnormal flames, on the other hand, are the opposite. Those are not common fire laws, nor can they even be considered to be flames. However, they possess the special name of flames. The devil-killing heavenly god said, They are the ancient Chuangzhou fire, fire of chaos, fire of life. Although there are a few ways to call them, they are all the same.